Hey, Ron.
My name is Aaron Smith-Levin, and I was a Scientologist for about 29 years.
My name is Claire Headley, and I was a Scientologist for 30 years.
My name is Marc Headley, and I was a Scientologist for 25 years.
My name is Mike Rinder. I was a Scientologist for 46 years.
What's the Church of Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Hi, everyone. It's Friday night. Time for some SPTV. Let's have our friends join in. Marc Headley, Claire, and the wonderful Amy Scobee.
Hey guys.
Hi.
We're doing an SP simul stream. So we have this going to Amy's channel, Mike's channel, and the Blown for Good channel. So if you guys are joining us, make sure you got to go over to Amy's channel and click subscribe because we got to get her watch hours and her subscribers up because she's new. So it'll help the algorithm.
Yes.
Good point.
Thank you.
And this episode is actually based on an idea that Amy had of talking about the terminology in Scientology, which is used to denigrate and create this us versus them mentality. And when she started listing out this list of terms, it is very lengthy. I doubt that we will get through all of them because as usual, we'll probably get sidetracked on a lot of different discussions, as we always do. But just realize this is something of a sort of a hallmark of Scientology. This idea that there are terms that are used to describe people which are exceedingly derogatory. And you know, when I started reading the list, and Amy and I were talking about it, and then Marc and I were talking about it at dinner tonight, it was like you kind of forget how many there are. And having some distance from them, you kind of realize just how disgusting some of these things are that Scientologists use to refer to other people with.
It's a lot of labeling inside Scientology. You call the person sitting next to you these things, your juniors these things. It's not just like somebody who's outside of Scientology name calling. It's like people labeled inside your own people.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, so you want to start with the first little batch there, Amy?
Yeah, so it is extensive, but so I grouped them in categories. The first category being production. So when you're trying to get production and you're having any difficulty, these are names that you assign to your junior or the person who's giving you trouble. One is a dev tea merchant or dev tea artist, and dev tea is it's short for developed traffic. So it means that it's someone who specializes in making extra work for you. And there's a whole several policies. There's a series called the Dev T series that teaches people all about creating extra work, all the forms of Dev T. And so there's a multitude of them. So you are usually accused of some form of Dev T probably on a daily basis. And a lot of times, if you write something to a senior and they don't like it, they just stamp it Dev T and send it back.
That's true. People used to have Dev T stamps.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Big ones.
I remember that.
Yeah,
you would just get your thing back and you're like, what?
And I would say Dev T is the only word that I haven't found a meaningful substitute for in real world language.
It's true. It's a hard one to grapple with because there's nothing that quite means exactly the same as that.
Right.
And it is a widely used term in Scientology. But it's also a widely used put down of people who it's like saying to someone, you're an incompetent asshole.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, you're making work for me, and
Yeah.
you're just worthless.
You're not doing your job, and this is the best way for me to summarize that in a short term.
Yep.
It was one of the tags I was talking about, the tags that David Miscavige made for us in neon colors that we had to
Oh,
wear.
that's right.
I was
you remember
thinking
those?
about that when you brought up the term. I totally remember that.
That was one of the tags. You know,
So
the
we
Dev
had-
T merchant.
Guys, we had uniforms, and our uniforms were like button-down shirts, but they had a little piece of soft part of the Velcro sewed above the shirt pocket, and every one of us had to wear a tag that was sort of like a piece of laminate that had color letters engraved into it. So it would say WDC, which is Watchdog Committee, CC, Celebrity Center. And then it would say Amy Scobee right under that, or Amy whatever, Amy Mortland, or Amy whatever your last name was. And
Scobee.
Amy Scobee. And then David Miscavige made those for us, but they said like asshole or
they said
Dr.
"Wee."
Dev T, or whatever. And then
Backflasher.
Is this
backflasher.
okay? Yeah, backflasher. Is this okay? Dev T merchant.
And instead
Wee,
of
one that was wee all the way across.
yeah,
That's
and
right.
And they
instead
were
of being
pink and yellow and green and just all these neon colors.
yeah, instead of just being our normal uniform color, it would be a bright, bright color. So someone would look at it and then say, "Oh, he's one of those guys."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mentioned to Mike when I was talking about this the other day, I had them all taped together and strung like campaign bars all the way down my chest, and I couldn't take them off until I got a petition approved by chairman of the board directly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And didn't you have to do a separate proposal for each tag that you'd been assigned?
I actually did an overall one, but I
Oh.
don't know if some people probably had to do individual ones. I don't know.
That's what I remember.
Do you
Yeah.
remember
Well,
when
we
he
had
made?
to do.
Do you remember when he made the
Oh.
hats?
That's what I was going to say, because then you had to do individual petitions to get your hat back. If you had 5 hats, because I did several jobs at the same time, I had to do an individual petition to get those approved.
So David Miscavige at the Imp Base made a hat, a baseball cap, and he had engraved into it every other single person's job on the Imp Base, including like the lawn mowing I see, like down to everything. He would even say, "I'm responsible for even the lawns being green." So every single, what is it, guys? Like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
The whole
He set
dining
up
room.
these exactly with hats, with everybody, and every single hat, like it was a black baseball cap that had white letters and it had everybody's job title on it, and it was hanging up down there, and it was going to stay there until you got your hat back directly from chairman of the board, Mr. I Do Everything.
Did anybody? I knew there was a few, like what do you call them? People that are over zealous about getting their job done. There was a few brown nosers and a few busy buddies who got their hats back. Right?
I got my hat back, but I'm not a brown.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Do gooder. You walked right into it, Amy. You walked right into it.
Like, okay, but should I say something? No.
Anyway, so they got their hats back, but eventually it all just got taken down.
Oh yeah, because
Like I never got my hat
went into
back.
apathy.
Yeah, I never got my hat back. I was like, keep it. I don't want it. Whatever.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see how we went on a roll on just the first one.
That was a
Yes.
good one, though. We would have never
Yeah.
told that story if you didn't bring it up.
Yeah, that was good. Here's the next one, which is you're labeled a backflasher, and that's someone who gives an unnecessary response to an order. It doesn't matter if the order is the most ludicrous thing you've ever heard. If you say anything other than yes, sir, it's considered backflash. And so you either have to run laps for it, do push-ups for it, or get a report written on you as a backflasher.
Yep.
Next one, Hill 10 maker. This is How many times have we heard that? Made the situation worse through noncompliance, false reports, and hat dumping. So you were labeled a Hill 10 maker if you didn't get your job done, or somebody else had to bypass and get it done, like David Miscavige. And so you were then a Hill 10 maker. Or an OP maker. An OP maker is someone who produces a useless or damaging product, and it's an overt product. An overt is considered something that's destructive. So an OP maker. That was, people were called that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another. Low OCA non-producer. An OCA is that stupid self-personality test.
The Oxford
And
Capacity Analysis personality test.
It's a personality test. And if it's low, it shows that certain points of your personality traits are in need of improvement. And so you would be called a low OCA non-producer. And that is cause for going to the rehabilitation project force, because that's one of the requirements, is that you're a low OCA non-producer.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another label, CI. That is someone who is displaying counter intention to an order. Now, this is something that was said like 50,000 times a day. This person's CI, don't be CI, you're just CI. There's so much CI to getting this done. You got to find out who's CI, get the CI off the lines. I mean, it was just the usual word often used.
That was a very, well, because anything that's not conducive to getting work done is CI. You're CI. Or if somebody wants to do something, or one of these people from CMO comes down to gold and they're like, we got to get this done. And you're like, oh, I got other stuff to be done. No, you're CI to Y program. This is a COB program. Right. You're like, what?
And a lot of times it's CI to command intention.
Yes.
Because they're coming down with an order from COB, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. And so if you hesitate at all, you're CI to command intention. The other thing is calling somebody CI is also, it's so thought stopping. Because you could have something valid to say or an opinion on something that's actually important, but it's just, no, you're CI. And so it's just shut up, it's done, it's over, you're a problem, get your counterintention off the lines.
Yeah, you're right. Like, there's no such thing as constructive criticism in the Sea Org, which is kind of mind-boggling when you consider that every single person has committed to 1 billion years, and in many cases is working like they could not work more hours in the day if they tried.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's what creates this echo chamber bubble in Scientology, where the most irrational, ridiculous things continue to go on and on and on. And you often wonder, why do they keep doing the same stuff? Because what happens is an order gets issued and nobody can ever query, question, wonder about what, should we really do this? Or it's because that gets you instantly labeled as CI and worse. So there's no feedback. There's nobody ever second guessing anything. It's all happens, and it's ordered and it gets done. And even when it blows up, it's because someone didn't do it right, whatever the order was. It wasn't the order that was wrong, it was the way it was executed. And then the same order will be issued again, and the same result will occur. Like, I see people on social media constantly saying, why does Scientology continue to do the same stupid shit on Twitter that results in everybody going, yep, everything they say about them is totally true?
Exactly. I thought about that today.
Well, I know there's a lot of,
right?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that don't want them to troll on Twitter. Like, I know Stephanie Hutchinson, and there's a lot of people that are tweeting at Elon, hey, can you get these guys off here? But at the end of the day, Scientology being on Twitter is exactly doing what Scientology does in the real world. They're doing it now so everyone can see them doing it. But this is what they've been trolling us in real life for 20 years. So the fact that they're doing it on Twitter so openly is exactly what they've been doing. That's how they act.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but they do it, and they're so over the top. It's ridiculous, but that is what they do.
Yep.
Stephanie is here, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
There it is. Look. Hi, Goldie.
Ah, there we go. Nice. Wow, you're on
Hi,
the ball.
Stephanie.
Well spotted, Mark.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah,
seriously.
I do. I got to show you some of these, though. These are the best. So I never thought about this in my entire life. Laughing my butt off, quite like the backflasher term. Because, what if you had a front flasher?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, this actually a backflash. The real definition of backflasher is a guy in the subway wearing a raincoat backwards.
Oh God!
Wow.
But that's a butt flasher.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw those comments in the in there, and I thought that is true. I never thought about that backflasher.
That sounds naughty.
There is a whole L. Ron Hubbard issue that's called isn't it called backflash? Oh no, it's FO Flag Order 38, and in that flag order, there's an entire section about backflash. And let's do a really crazy thing. I'm gonna say backflash. What is it? And can we all do it?
Sure.
Can you do it, Mike?
Do you mean the whole is unnecessary?
No, just what it is. If we just say it at the same
It's an
time.
unnecessary
Unnecessary
response to an order.
Like we literally know it because we at almost every single muster when we would get together, they would put up a giant piece of paper and they would say backflash. What is it? Backflash is an unnecessary response to an order. The senior says sell bricks. Junior says bricks are hard to sell. Yeah, we would have to do that. We'd have to chant that. But in Golden Era Productions, we had to do it at every single muster 3 times a day, at least. For 15 years, we would have to Chinese school that. So we know the whole. It's not just what we just said. It's really long, and we know the entire thing. That's called brainwashing.
That's like yesterday when we started on the definition of a team.
Yeah. We were
definition of a team. It's
a group of people working one and they usually get along great. Now the trick is to be a member of a team and an individual at the same time. Yeah.
Here's the next one. You guys ready?
Yes.
Q&A artist.
Oh.
Someone who Q&A is question and answer like normal, but a Q&A artist, it would be labeled someone, and it's defined in the technical dictionary. Someone who asks, basically it's someone who asks a dumb question or an unproductive question and doesn't go A to B on getting something done. Yeah. Okay, so that's one.
Which is another form of backflash, because if the boss says do X, Y, and Z, and you say, well, why should I do X, Y, and Z? And well, how would you like me to do X, Y, and Z, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You're trying to carry on the conversation instead of just saying yes, sir, and doing it.
Yes.
Shame on you.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is in sit 3. You're in sit 3. Okay, so there's a policy letter that gives the different situations about people when they're new on post. And situation 3 is basically they're running around looking busy but getting no product. And so what it says, so someone who's busy with no products requiring bait and badgering to impinge on him until he snarls, cries, screams, and spits out an outpoint of why he's not producing. And that's his why, and he should go into smooth two-way communication after that is found. But you got to make sure that he snarls, cries, screams, and spits out an outpoint.
So much that was abused.
It was abused.
Moly.
Oh my God! It was abused. It authorized and basically gave way to people impinging on someone to get them to get a product. and it didn't matter if they screamed and cried. You actually wanted them to.
Yeah, that was the sign that they were going to
Right.
come out of sit 3, actually. That
Right.
was what you were aiming for.
If
Yeah,
you could
so
get them to cry.
you're basically so this, based on this policy, per L. Ron Hubbard, you're supposed to intentionally antagonize aggressively your people that work for you until they freak out on you, and then try to talk to you about why they don't like it when you do that.
Makes
Oh
perfect
my God.
sense.
Yeah.
Stephanie asked if it's the opposite of bull baiting. It's more like a different form of bull baiting.
It's kind of like aggro. It's like
You're supposed
poking.
to. Yeah, you're supposed to ask in many different ways, where's the product, where's the product, where's the product, until they scream and cry and spit out some reason why they're not getting anything done.
And it's different from bull baiting because the intent is not just to make the person flinch, but to actually upset them enough that they blurt something out that supposedly explains why they're so incompetent.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard to describe. I'm trying to think of like how to describe this, and as sort of a little example of what someone might say. You know, they have their senior screaming in their face about how incompetent they are and how bad they are and how rotten they are. And eventually they go, well, I don't know what to do because my mother's always upset at me. Like, and then, oh, I get it. So you have an antagonistic mother who's antagonistic to Scientology, and that's why you're not doing your job.
Yep.
I mean, I know that makes absolutely no sense, and it's completely illogical. But this is standard pattern and practice in Scientology.
Yep.
It didn't work.
Nope.
It didn't get you into smooth production. All it did was, all it did.
If anything, it probably
upset you.
chases people away. If anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then you do the advanced training that's called the org executive course. Like you do this advanced training and you train like to become proficient in bait and badger and harassing people to get a product. It's really disgusting, actually.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here's
let me just answer one question because it came up.
Yeah.
This question just came up. What is the technical dictionary Amy mentioned?
Oh, okay. Do you want me to answer?
Well, I'll answer. There's two.
Okay.
There's two standard dictionaries of Scientology terminology. One is called the technical dictionary, and one is called the admin dictionary. And one describes the terms that are used in policies, and one describes the terms and defines the terms that are used in the technical area, auditing and training. By the way, the definitions of those terms in those dictionaries are little quotes from L. Ron Hubbard. They're not really definitions. They're just where he said something that sort of explains what it means.
Yeah, in an issue or a tape.
Yeah, it's not actually a definition.
Which is true. It's kind of weird, actually, now that I
Yeah.
think of it. It's
When
not really.
Scientology is so big on defining words and understanding every definition of every word and the derivation and the this and the that, and you look up and it's not definitions. It's oftentimes a statement
Yeah.
that is
It has the word in it.
sort of describing what it is or some expansion on the idea of what it's about.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's weird, isn't it?
And the reason for that.
I read through them. Yeah.
And the reason for that was because L. Ron Hubbard never defined the word, and somebody else couldn't define the word in place of him, because then that would be not per him. So it's sort of like this weird reverse thing where he made up a word, but then he never defined the word completely. So now nobody really knows what the word means, and you can change the word if you want to, and nobody could say that that's not the definition. So it was a very weird lingo, like loophole in this thing.
Yeah, it was the use of semantics to control and isolate people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Claire.
Well, here's another one. Worker oriented.
Oh, this is a doozy.
So
Oh. Let me tell a story
Let me
when you're
tell you
done
about
defining
Lyman
this.
Spurlock.
So I'll just say
Claire has
what
the
it
best
says.
one ever.
I want to hear this story, so I'll just tell you real quick what it says in the dictionary, which is one who cares for the worker but not for the org.
Oh.
Okay, so go ahead, Claire.
Yes, and so this one comes from there's the policy or reference from Hubbard where he talks about how what went wrong at Hershey's chocolate factory is they were too nice to the workers, right? And they put the workers, they treated them nicer, and then they all just took off and the whole place went to hell or something like that, paraphrased, of course. But when I was working at Religious Technology Center, I was tasked with finding out why people were not performing and all this. And I came up with this really, I thought, a really smart idea. Like, hey, look at the person's ethics folder, evaluate the positions that they held where they were receiving a ton of reports because obviously they were not performing on that post well. Find the positions that they had where they were doing great, their stats were up, they weren't getting tons of reports, and use all of those tools to figure out where somebody would be most successful. And I explained this to Marty Rathbun, and oh my gosh, it's actually not appropriate to say his exact words. But it had to do with that I was a worker-oriented, theedy-weedy, we'll bleep the rest.
See you next Tuesday.
Which will lead us into theedy-weedy.
Yeah. But
oh my gosh.
This was also terribly, terribly abused. Lyman Spurlock, who was someone who was in Religious Technology Center, he was a CPA before he joined the Sea Org. And so he was used for all sorts of different things by Miscavige, covering up his financial irregularities, all sorts of stuff. In any event, Lyman Spurlock was a decent man who had lived a life before Scientology and had been successful at it. He, at one point, brought up the fact that staff were not being paid adequately and that it was unfair for freeloader bills to be accumulated by a person for the entirety of their Sea Org career, that actually they had worked and that they were exchanging for what the auditing and training or whatever they may be getting by the work they were doing. And he had this proposal that each 5 years you basically zero out your freeloader bill.
Wow, that's a great idea.
It really is, actually.
Okay. For that, he was labeled for the rest of time worker-oriented Spurlock.
Yes, I remember that. He had that badge.
He had one of those badges. He was the poster child for worker orientation because he thought that the staff should get paid and that freeloader bills shouldn't be just these 300,000, 500,000, ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
That nobody ever paid. He actually proposed that if you reduced them, people would probably pay more, and actually there would be more revenue generated from people paying off their freeloader bills for that reason. But nope, he was just a worker-oriented piece of shit, and sad to say he's no longer with us.
Yes, rest in peace, Lyman.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I don't think that anybody hated Lyman Spurlock.
No,
we lived with him.
Yeah,
Claire and I shared a room with him, and what was his wife's name?
Carol. He was kind of mean after Marc escaped, and I was left there by myself. He wrote this really nasty report because he lived in the same house, and he was like, I always knew there was no good going on behind that door.
Oh,
I knew there was nonsense happening in that bedroom.
oh my God.
Hey, we're up to no good in there.
Wow,
I
way to
heard him
stamp
watching
on me
Conan
when I'm
O'Brien
down.
at night one time.
Oh, dear. Okay, well, you know.
It's okay. I forgive him.
Okay.
Okay. My dog's Chewy somehow got out of his kennel, so he's going crazy back there. You can see him. Okay, so the next one is, how about this? An alter-izer.
Oh boy.
So it's one who sees things different from what it is. So there's this, we use like it's an isness. Like we had this weird terminology about things that were, which was like it's an isness. Just confront the isness. She's an alter-izer.
And if you're not is something, you can't actually confront it or see that it's there.
Yeah, that all comes from early Hubbard quote technology about isness and as isness and alter isness, and I mean it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But an alter izer is someone who cannot. It's like saying you're incapable of hearing or reading something and understanding what it actually says.
Yes.
You make it something different than what you were told or what L. Ron Hubbard said it was. And by doing that, you are an alter-izer. And because you're an alter-izer, you are untrustworthy. You can't be relied upon for anything. You're going to mess everything up. It's just another, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. And the other flavor of that, wouldn't you agree, Mike, is that if, for example, David Miscavige says you need to do A, B, C, and D, and if you do A, B, C, and D, or you either change it in any way or it doesn't get the exact result that he expected, then you're also an alter-izer.
Well,
Exactly.
well, actually, that's everything. If it was wrong, then you didn't do the way he said to do it. That was why it was wrong, because you did something differently.
Yes. And God forbid
And
you would say, well, I was just following orders by David Miscavige.
Yeah, that would get you in hot water.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, if you read through all of his orders, he would say to do it this way, and he would say to do it that way. So if you did one and it didn't turn out, he would find, or his secretary, whoever, would find the one to do it the other way.
But do you remember when you were negotiating with one of, like, what was the tall guy? Francois or Tori or Serena or one of his people? You're like, listen, I've got two orders. One says to do this, and one says definitely do not do A. And then I have another order that says 100% we should have done A. So what do you want me to do now? And you're like talking with them like, well, you have to decide. You have to be the one that decides. And you're like, oh, really? I see how this is. You won't tell me which way.
Right.
Because they know if they say which way and that way is the wrong way, then it's going to come back to them.
Yep.
Everybody covers their ass in the Sea Org.
Oh, my goodness.
That is the art, the true art of being a Sea Org member at the highest echelons of Scientology, is the ability to cover your ass.
Remember that whole campaign that Miscavige launched about juniors covering their seniors?
CYA,
asses?
Yeah, the CYA campaign.
And JYA and every variation thereof.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, talking about this stuff is like, oh my God, did we really buy into all this shit?
I know. That's what I was thinking about it today when we were talking about this, Amy. I said, Mike, remember, I never understood he would call people FCCIs. And what that means is it's a flag case
completion intensive.
It basically just means somebody who goes to Florida and takes auditing or counseling. That's what it means.
Well, originally it was people who went to the Apollo. There were public people that paid to go to the Apollo to receive auditing from class 12s. That was the only place you could get it back then. and Hubbard, there was like 5 or 10 people, I guess, in the time that I was there that came who were they were the whales of Scientology. And they came and they paid, like thousands of dollars an hour to be audited by Quentin Hubbard or a class 12. And Ron was there to oversee their case. And that's why they were called flag case completion intensives. They came for intensive auditing at the Apollo. And that name stuck when the Apollo, then we went to Clearwater, and it became much more accessible and available for people to come, but they still got called FCCIs. That's the name of a public person paying for services at the Flag Land Base, FCCI.
Okay, yeah. So, but he would call Sea Org members FCCIs. So he'd be like, you're like an FCCI. And you're like, I'm like a public. I could never understand it when I was young, and he would call people that. I was like, why is he calling us public Scientologists? And then as you get there, you're like, oh yeah, because you're there because it's all about you. You're trying to make yourself better. That's not what we're here for. We're here to get work done. We don't give a shit about you. So if you're thinking about you, then you're a public. And then once I got it, I was like, so then when you go to Florida, you look at these people and you look at them like they're there because they're all about them.
Yeah.
That's how you view them, because if you get called that, it's a derogatory term.
It's like calling somebody a slacker, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which it's weird. It's
It
like
is weird.
Scientology on Scientology hate.
Yeah.
That's what all of these are. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
It is.
crazy.
That is true.
Like here's another one, which is degraded being, or DB. So this is in the general negative statements. So that means, per the dictionary, sick Satan who can't be cause. So basically, if you're disheveled or if you are, somehow downtone or whatever, you're called a DB.
Yep.
Well,
Degraded being.
and that's a very, very broadly used term to describe homeless people or psychiatrists or mental patients or
People who don't like Scientology.
people who
Yes.
don't
They're
like
all DBs. They're all
Scientology.
DBs.
Everybody is a DB. DB is a very, very generic and broadly used term in Scientology. Claire just let herself out.
She had to. I think she had to handle a delivery that was coming there.
I hear you.
How do you do that? Because I should let my dog out because he is like.
Oh, you're just gonna abandon it? Okay,
Yeah.
Marc. Once they're gone,
Yeah.
let's not let them back.
Yeah, we'll just that's it. It's
Okay, you guys are gone.
It's boys' night now.
Boys'
Let's get-
night.
Forget all
Boys'
this silly dilly definitions. Let's talk
night.
about the fun
let's
stuff.
I wonder how many more definitions we should actually bother with and start taking questions, seeing as how we've already got 47.
Yeah. Well, we can actually do some questions while the girls are doing their thing.
You put
Look
me
at-
back in before I was stressed.
Here's oh, sorry, Amy. This is from Aaron. I'm almost caught up listening at 2x speed. He says he listens to Claire and I's videos on 2x speed too.
That's funny. Never heard of that.
Anne Hummingbird says, hi, I ordered 2 bobbleheads and then I got caught up in whatever we were talking about, so I don't know if I ever emailed anyone or not with my info, LOL. Well, unfortunately, Anne,
Why don't you bring that one up right now when Claire isn't there?
I didn't read it. I just clicked on a random question to get some questions going while Claire dumped out. But anyway, I'm going to let Claire get back in here, and then we can ask her.
Can I just say?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Put it
Can
up
I
close.
just say that that I got one of these from Stacy Y. Thank you.
Oh.
If you're watching, thank you so much. That was sent to me by Claire from your order. Thank you so much.
Oh,
now
somebody gifted
Mike's
it to
bobblehead
you.
on my desk. Yes.
That's
Yeah,
so
it was
nice. So Claire,
Yes.
Amy just showed us the bobblehead that
I saw.
Stacy Y had sent to her. But Ann Hummingbird says she ordered 2 bobbleheads and then she got caught up in whatever we were talking about. So I don't know if I ever emailed anyone or not with my info, LOL.
Okay. So I'll check. And
Okay.
if you would shoot me an email, claire@blownforgood.com, I will sort it out for you.
There you go.
Excellent.
See?
Yes.
You ask and you shall receive.
Yes.
This is the soap opera that you can talk to.
Sorry I had to bounce out there for a minute.
It's
Yep.
okay. I bounced too. Do I let my dog out of the kennel?
Oh, yeah, no. As soon as you bounced, Claire, Amy was like, how do I do that? I want to do that. And then she was gone.
I kept staying on mute because he was going crazy trying to get his little Chewy got out of the out of the kennel, and he was trying to get it. Oh my God. Okay, here's the next one for everyone, which is disaffected. Disaffected.
Oh.
So doesn't agree with management, seniors, or orders. Boy, did that label fly around.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sure did.
disaffected. Oh, he's
Yeah.
disaffected. Oh, she's disaffected. Even people will get labeled as disaffected. Like, and then you
And
go
it
like,
went on the security list.
disaffected.
You went on the disaffected, went on the security list, and so you get restricted from the base onto the base. You can't
Restricted
leave.
to the base.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm restricted from the base.
We're all restricted from it now.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, you should have seen their response when we proposed to just drive back and pick up our belongings. They
Oh,
about
yeah, they
had a hissy
lost
fit.
it.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
like, hell no. I'm like, we know where we lived. It's not like
Yeah.
what's
no
so
surprise
bad about that.
Yeah, I know how to get in through that back door.
Which sort of brings up a bit of an off-topic subject, but I think that people probably don't even real or know this term perimeter council.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is such an interesting term when you think about it now. Perimeter council. This was a body of people that was responsible for dealing with the threats on the base, meaning the people who were Sea Org members at the Gold Base who were, for whatever reason, considered to be a threat, meaning
They
threat to blow.
They would escape the perimeter. And that's why they were called the Perimeter Council.
Yep.
I mean, I was on that damn list, and I wasn't blowy or anything like that. I was just on the list because I was in trouble. You go on it for all kinds of things.
Because you were CI, because you were a DB, because you were downstep, because you were a backflasher, because like anything would be good enough.
Just so you know, Mike.
I got sent to that stupid swamp, and I was out there in the swamp under watch for 3 months because of something that my husband did that David Miscavige didn't agree with. Full-time under watch on heavy manual labor out at the swamp watching Marc Yeager. We had to take a shower at the same, not at the same time, but in the same little facility when he was being kept out in that cage out there. I mean, so it's so arbitrary. And of course I was on the perimeter council list, so I couldn't leave the property, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I was a perimeter list all-star.
Were you were permanently on it, I think. It was
I think I was on it for like 2 years one time. I slept in a hallway I slept in a closet above a hallway. Like it was like on Track and Studs. I just put boards over it and put a sleeping bag there. And it was above a hallway right near my office. That was like my apartment for like 2 years.
Stories we could tell. People would just not even fathom.
Yeah,
I mean,
Vipka
not
Hansen.
even.
To this day, Vipka Hansen was painting backdrops all night. Right on the other side of the hallway was the psych wall for the studio, for the what was called the City Castle. Cyclorama wall. It's giant green screen that we would shoot special effect shots against. And Vipka Hansen was a painter, and she was in the sets and props department, and she was painting all the psych wall and backdrops and all. And she would listen to the Hymn of Asia music album on repeat. So that was all I would hear all night long is I am Matea. And I literally, if I hear that album, I will it's like Clockwork Orange to me. If I hear I am Matea, I will literally lose my mind and start going into the streets.
Okay.
That explains
man.
so much to me.
Yes. Oh,
You try to
How
get work
about-
done in the
I know
day.
I know that you got blamed for this a lot, or accused of this, or called this a lot, Mark, which is J&D.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So J&D stands for Joker and Degrader, and it's a person basically who is just makes light of things, jokes about things, and isn't basically serious. So people would be labeled Joker and Degrader.
Yes.
Degrader.
Well,
Guilty.
Mark was brilliant at it.
Mark is the only reason I lasted, or he's one of the main reasons I lasted so long. Like, one of my earliest experiences where I was just like, I am so screwed, was when Miscavige shut down the whole staff training area and said because Ted Horner had escaped, so he blamed it on all of us. And we were on this crazy long schedule. And it's like, if you're late once, you go in the lake. If you're late twice, you're going to go to the rehabilitation project force. And, 10-minute meal breaks, run everywhere. You're complete bottom of the pile. And Mark and I had been married for maybe like 6 months. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it through this. And he was like, it's okay. You're going to be fine. It's not that big of a deal. I was like, it is that big of a deal. I can't do this.
Yeah, she was like,
I was a hot mess.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
But Mark had this unique way of just making it not quite as serious and not quite as earth-shatteringly bad as it was, even if it was actually.
Matt has that. My husband Matt has that gift too.
Yes,
it
really is a gift.
It is a gift.
It's like
it's appreciated too. It's really appreciated.
It's only messed up right now. It's in 5 minutes. It won't be messed up. Everything will be fine.
Exactly. It's also, don't worry about that you're the one who's getting thrown under the bus, because it's going to be that person next time.
Yeah.
I mean, one day I'm wearing commander stripes. The next day I'm wearing a black boiler suit.
Yeah, that bus is just driving in a loop. It's gonna get somebody else on the next one. You might even still be down when it comes the next time. You won't even be able to get hit again.
That's a little cocky. I would always think, yeah, your turn's coming.
Yeah.
Let's see how long you last.
Thought has gone through the head of every one of us many, many, many times.
Yes.
Particularly when the new people would arrive that were brought as the latest and greatest. Dave's pet, who's come to demonstrate how great they are to the rest of the idiots at the international headquarters.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything, dude.
Yeah.
I've been assigned to the RPF 4 times. I've done every, hard manual, everything that you could possibly do. I've been up and down and punished in every way that imaginable. And here comes this newbie who's holier than thou. Oh my God! I just felt like throwing him. I don't know.
You're always, as soon as he brings them, like he shows them off when they first come. And he's like, look at my shiny new toys. And you're like, oh, yeah, they have not been battle tested. Yeah, they're in for some fun. When they get to us, when those guys come to tell me to do something, oh, I'm putting on a show for them.
We're like, let's mark the calendar, start the clock.
Start the clock.
Yeah.
And it's a fast one.
You guys, it's like Jenny, when it was just like that when Jenny and Angie came. It's like, here they are. They kicked ass in Flag. They're gonna get this place. They're gonna get you guys. I've told them what CI, sea suckers, everything that you are. They're fully briefed and they're ready for you. And you're like, oh yeah. And then 6 months later, Jenny and Angie show up in my production area wearing T-shirts and jeans or something, and some lackey, some 13-year-old girl's bringing them to us saying, "These COB said give them the dirtiest job you can think of," and you're like, "Yep, I knew it. Took you guys 6 months to get to these cleaning my paint buckets."
There wasn't one person who came under those circumstances and survived.
Tom
No.
DeVock,
Not
Russ
a single
Bellin,
person.
Angie Linson, Angie Blankenship, Debbie Cook. It was every single person
Janet
crash
Light.
and burned. And when they were, and every time they would end up, they'd be working with us. Eventually, they'd just be one of the scumbag SPs.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you were shiny and new 2 years ago. I've been here for 15 years. Get comfy.
That's one of the reasons why I tried to treat everybody nicely, because I'm going to be chipping boulders one day, and then I'm going to be wearing, 5 stripes and whatever. And it's just like everyone's in the same bucket, and it's an insane asylum bucket. And so you might as well try to get along.
That's a good point, Amy. And I will say the 4 people that are in this chat right now that were at that place, I don't remember personally any of us being pricks to any of us.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish I wouldn't have sent my rings back to you, though. Just saying.
Oh my goodness! You had to bring up the rings.
I brought it up, not you. I just, I was in a really tough spot.
I was trying to make a positive take on this, but there
I
are
was acknowledging you for that, honey.
Yeah, there are people there that they might not be on these chats even if they left, because they were evil, and they were one of those people that came there to kick our asses, and they thought they were above all of us, and they told us they were above all of us. And then when they were with us, it was sort of like, you were not cool, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
So there are people that we would help any of them if they did leave and they needed some help. We would help them.
Yeah.
But we might not be chatting with them on Fridays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
So let's see. How about out pointy? Everybody's out pointy. Okay, what that means is far from the ideal scene, and the out points there's a whole list in the it's in a data series policy letters from L. Ron Hubbard, a whole list of what out points are, and it includes things like contrary facts, falsehoods, and altered importances. So if somebody is out pointy, they're doing something weird, or that wouldn't be considered on policy. So you call anybody out pointy.
It's a Scientology euphemism for crazy.
Or not fitting in and following the rules and acting out of character of the android Seorg mentality you're supposed to fit into.
Right.
Yeah, I like that, not fitting in. Yeah, because then you consider somebody like, here he comes, he's so out pointy.
Yeah.
You're just like, he just doesn't fit in. He's like, wearing his pants a little high or whatever. It's just he's out pointy. It doesn't have anything to do with contrary facts or altered importances, but it's just a negative name to call somebody.
Yeah. Hey, before you do the next one, do we have a strategy on addressing chats? Or
I was just about to say.
We
4,000 questions here.
Yeah.
But I've been starring them, but I was just going to say we could do some, and then if some terms, there's people have questions about some of the terms, then we could kind of answer some questions about the terms we've already asked.
Yeah,
we've already covered.
And we could save the rest for part 2.
Right.
We've got a whole long list more. If people are interested, we can do more.
I could get through the general ones and then leave the about cases, because there are so many different things that you would call a person with regards to their personal case and their being, their thetan. And it's amazing how many of those are. And that could be a separate one. And I'll just do the last one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I'll go through the last of these. I'm going to skip a couple because we kind of got it. So 1 or 2D oriented or fixated. So 1D is the first dynamic, which is yourself, your dynamic of self. And 2D is your family, and sex and your family is the second dynamic. So when you say that somebody's either 1 or 2D oriented or fixated, it means that you're giving the wrong dynamics any sort of priority, because you should be third dynamic fixated, which is the group. And that's what you should have all of your attention on, and not worry about yourself or your family or anything like that. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are told that they are 1D oriented because they want to go up the bridge or they want to do something.
Yeah, when I escaped, my mom wrote me a short email basically saying I have to disconnect now. But one of the things she said is, I was 2D oriented, and I think you might have gotten it from me, because she was obviously saying that the only reason I escaped was to go be with Marc. And I just, you just let it go. When she didn't even know where I physically was for 14 years. She was such a stranger by that point. What are you going to say? But yeah, she called me that.
I like the way she was thinking, though. She had to get that loving. Claire had to get that loving out of Marc.
It's not just the,
that's why she escaped the cult.
You had a misunderstood word. You thought the 2D oriented was just sex.
She wanted to get some of that loving.
Oh my gosh.
Some of that jacking up the bus.
Yeah.
Okay, so tiger. A tiger is someone repeatedly associated with goofed projects, not qualified for missions or executive positions. So you would get labeled by an issue, labeling you a tiger.
Did you guys ever see one of those at the in base?
Oh yeah, I did.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
I never saw one.
I don't know.
The one that I always remember is the Gary Weesey, but he was not labeled a tiger. He was labeled like belligerent, like
no.
It was
incorrigible. Yes, that's right.
It just said, but that was it, guys. These issues were very official. It said Religious Technology Center, RTC Order 72, and then it said all base. That was the distribution, and then it just said Gary Weesey, incorrigible, chairman of the board, Religious Technology Center. That was it.
Yep. And then it was reissued like 2 years later.
Yes.
Like it was reprinted and distributed.
It was issued in 1993, and that was during the edit of the IAS. We won the IRS, whatever you call it, IAS event.
Yeah, the war is
over. The war is over event. Yeah. And the new issue was issued when we had the New Year's 2000 event, and and we did it at the exact same place and did the same type of event, and the edit went as horrible as it did in 1993, and David Miscavige just said reissued it, January 2020, whatever it was, 2020. It was reissued. And it was the same exact issue for the same exact thing. Editing an event video.
Memory, by the way.
What's
you got
that?
This great I love your photographic memory. That's awesome.
Well, also
reissued.
I was involved with both of those videos, so I was in the hot seat both times too.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I just a side comment. I haven't heard that term tiger in a few years, of course. Thinking about it now, like from out here in the real world, it seems so counterintuitive. Like, what's wrong with being a tiger?
Right. Like you want to get something done or something.
Yeah. Like, you're just not a submissive, obedient android, but you're a tiger. And that's a bad thing.
Yep. It doesn't make, none of this makes sense. It's just,
no, of course not.
It's just, Here's the next one. Seedy weedy. So that means seedy weedy, people would be called seedy weedy all the time. And, it just basically means that they're super significant, goody, and don't have any confront.
Yeah,
so it's like Pollyanna.
Yeah.
So you could say I love you, and they're like, that's so thiedy weedy.
I got called thiedy weedy the night by David Miscavige, I should say. Oh, that's the story you were thinking of, Marc.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
when you were saying the worker oriented thing, Claire.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. So the night I got kicked out of Religious Technology Center, the reason for which is that I refused to divorce Marc. Miscavige came back to the property. Miscavige came back to the property that day, and Valerie Haney at the time was his steward, and I had spent 4 months with Valerie helping her recover from a broken leg. That's a whole separate story. But either way, I considered her a friend, and when they got back, I went up to her, I gave her a big hug, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing to see you," yada yada yada. Somehow, some way, that this this interaction got back to David Miscavige. And so when he was coming through our offices saying, "You're out, you're out," and he's like, "And you're a thiety-weety bleep, 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 you're out."
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was me.
Because you liked somebody and you cared about them.
Yes, and because I gave her a hug, because how could I possibly give someone a hug when we were all in deep, dark, out of ethics, lower conditions?
Yeah. Terrible. Okay, so this is used very often as well. You're 1-1. And 1-1 is 1.1 on the tone scale, Scientology's tone scale of different emotions. And what that means, it stands for, it's covert hostility. So it's basically someone smiling while they're holding a knife behind their back, wanting to stab you, but outwardly they're like looking nice or whatever. And so people are called 1-1 all the time, like, because they don't think that you're saying what you really mean, or I don't even know why. Why did we always call people 1?
Because it is a highly derogatory, probably the most derogatory level on the tone scale, because Hubbard says this is where the sexual pervert lives, is at 1.1.
Right.
And so he defined that as homosexuals, child molesters, anybody that did anything other than engage in heterosexual missionary style sex was deviant. And so the implication of being called 1-1 is more than just you're going to stab someone in the back, although that is kind of what it means. It's also that you're a pervert, that you're a deviant, that you're a someone to be sort of despised or even pitied. You're like a real dregs of society kind of individual who should be, as Hubbard put in Science of Survival, the solution to people like that is to remove them from society.
Yeah, like they did with the lepers.
Like the Venezuelan dictator did when he rounded up all the lepers and he had them basically murdered. So, and it solved the problem because he got rid of all the 1-1s. So it's a very, very
it's super derogatory.
Derogatory.
I did a complete compilation of all the different things on that exact point, and it'd be a very interesting video in itself. I prepared it for another thing, Zoom thing I was doing with someone else, but it's really interesting, and it's extremely derogatory to humanity, basically.
Yeah, and I was just going to say one last little thing is even on the illustrated scale, it's called the tone scale. They have a little picture for each tone, and at covert hostility, 1-1, they have a little guy smiling, but he's holding a knife behind his back that he's gripping.
That's in the tech dictionary too.
Like he's going to stab you in the back as soon as you walk away. So that is
so they're
their
not
kind
interested.
of that's in a nutshell illustration is a little little kind of like slimy backstabber guy.
Yep.
Backstabber, not a backflasher.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to be confused with
front flasher.
Okay, 2 more. So here's one which is ethics bait, and we were called ethics bait, and it's basically someone who's prone to get in trouble. I think Marc was mainly labeled ethics bait.
Thank you.
Thank you. He was prone to get in trouble all the time because of his J&D, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm an abbreviation salad.
And this one this next one, which will be the final one before we take questions, is a regular word, but the way Scientologists, and especially in the Sea Org, use it is not, which is victim. And a victim in Scientology terms is someone who operates at effect in life. So you would say, stop being a victim. If they're saying, this hurts, and so I can't do that because my foot hurts or I broke my ankle. Stop being a victim and get it done. Or like Debbie Hughes being pushed around this tree on the running program I was talking about the other day. You can't be a victim. You have to just make it go right and get it done. So the way it's used is so destructive in Scientology.
Yes, and circling back to the tone scale on that one. So we were talking about how 1.1 covert hostility is bad. The tone scale, the highest point is 40. The lowest point is minus 40. So we're talking 1.1 is very negative. Victim is 0.1, which is just above 0.0, which is body death.
Body death, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely frowned upon. Any sort of attitude of it can't be done, or any delay whatsoever in or counterintention whatsoever. It's just, you're a victim and it's not okay. And it right away just slams you down, and you are made to figure out what lower condition you're in because you're being a victim. And it's sad because they are victims in Scientology. So, you know, they are victims. They're victims of abuse. They're victims of torture. They're victims of, you know, all kinds of things like this. And but the way Scientology uses it, it stops any sort of thought or anything besides what Scientology wants you to believe.
Yep.
Right. And this is exactly how circumstances like what we have all heard about in the Danny Masterson case come up. When someone in Scientology is abused by another Scientologist, for them to raise that as, look what happened to me, someone did something to me that was bad, they are treated as if there is something wrong with them because they are being victims. And being a victim in Scientology is tantamount to being a person who has given up and is intent upon sucking everybody else into their demise. Scientologists believe that victims are going to drag them down too. That they're going to be made, they're going to be somehow sucked into this vortex of victimhood and become lesser and incapable and unhappy because they have associated with or what's called granted beingness to victims.
Yeah, it's almost brainwashed into them that if somebody around you is a victim and is doing badly and poorly, you need to abandon them. You need to get them as far away from you as possible so you don't get stuck to their messes and any part of their problems become your problems. You have to basically abandon them, kick them off the ship, get rid of them, and kick them to the curb. Otherwise, they're going to suck you down.
Yes.
It's really horrible, actually. Somebody asked, what do they think about empathy? There is no empathy. I mean, there's no empathy.
That's as low as you can be on the tone scale is empathy. That's a horrible thing in Scientology.
Yeah, sympathy and empathy are almost considered to be the same thing. And sympathy, Hubbard writes extensively about this in one of his earlier books. Sympathy is a dramatization of death.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, sympathy for someone.
Just think about that. It's unbelievable.
But this is the hardest thing to get people who are not Scientologists to understand some of these concepts that are so ingrained in Scientology and so ingrained in Scientologists, they don't even think about them. They don't even think that there is something odd about it. They wouldn't even get into an argument with you about it. That's just the way things are.
Yeah, and that's how it's easy for parents or children or siblings or relatives to just completely disconnect and never talk to that person ever again, because even feeling the tiniest amount of emotion would mean that you're sympathizing with the victim, or you're granting some sort of beingness, or granting some sort of acknowledging to this person who's done something bad against Scientology. If you
Yeah.
did any of that, that's bad on you. That's something that's you're gonna get labeled for that. So you have to just pretend they don't even exist in your life and just forget about them forever because they're an SP or they're a victim or whatever.
And it was actually hard after so many years of that being the mindset to come into the world and somebody is sympathetic, or even trying to be sympathetic and compassionate. It actually was, I had to have a major transformation for that to change.
Even our families, Amy, when we met our families who we didn't even really know, like they'd never met Claire, and we'd been married for 12 years. None of my family on my father's side, who wasn't involved with Scientology, they hadn't really met us. But when we went and met with them and we went to Thanksgiving dinner and stuff, they said the whole time that we were in Scientology that they had put us on their prayer lists, that that we would one day escape from that. And you're like, why did they do that? They didn't even know us.
It was
they
mind-blowing to know that we were complete. I mean, they'd never met me at all.
Yeah.
We were like, wow,
that's amazing.
And so you think like, that's not what
because they have a heart.
Us. Yeah, that's not what they teach us in Scientology. These guys are supposed to be worshiping this, this person, this deity that was a child, attacker and all these other things. And you're like, they're not like that at all. They had us on their prayer list that we would escape from that horrible place. And they didn't even know how horrible of a place it was. And they had us on their prayer list.
Right.
But you're right, Amy, back to the point. You reminded me that for a few years, it was very hard for me to talk about anything that happened because the reactions from people to something that, I lived with it. I somewhat came to terms with it. I definitely had bottled it up and shut it away. And then just saying it matter-of-factly, and these people would just crumble in front of me. I'm like, how do I process this?
Oh my God. People always thought I was mad at them because I was emphatic. I said the S word one time just at work, and like that person wrote me up to the top management, because you just don't do that. You don't like it was just integrating back into society was super hard. And but anyway, I mean, the profession that I went into, I really got to learn about compassion, and also I took care of my mom in hospice, my mother-in-law in hospice, and my brother-in-law's mom in hospice, those three beautiful women separately, and boy, if that doesn't teach you compassion and learning how to love and be there for somebody in their time of need, I don't know what will. Totally. So I consider it a blessing that I was able to do that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Nice. Well said.
Yes.
Okay. It's question time.
Yay.
Xenu poo poo, I see.
Xenu poo poo. What are you saying?
What? The first one on my screen.
What are you talking about?
Jeez, Amy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Japan of Green Gables. That's a clever name. Jack loves that show. Have your boys watched that, Claire? Anne of Green Gables?
No.
Jack he's watching it for the second time.
Wow,
anyway,
I'll check it out.
Hi, Mike. It's really good. I watched it all with him the first time. It's very good. It's well written, acted, directed, and has good messages.
Nice.
Anyway, hi, Mike. Hi, Amy. Can you talk about Heber Gentian, his first wife? All that is ever talked about is how he is missing. I hear he was a really nice guy, as was she. Can you guys talk about what? Well, we probably need to do a whole episode about the disappeared at Gold and include Heber and the other people. Heber's first wife was Yvonne Gillum, and she passed away many, many years ago. Heber, I spent probably out of everybody here, I've spent the most amount of time with Heber.
For sure.
For many, 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 many years. And I have a lot to say about that. And he is one of the people, he and Guillaume Leserve are probably the two people that I feel the most draw to do something to help who remain in the Sea Org still. Not that I wouldn't help anybody, but those two were very close friends that I spent a lot of time with. he was a funny, nice, gentle, caring person. So I don't know what else to say about that right now. Do you guys have anything to add?
No, but I noted that, yeah, we'll take it up in a separate video.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more to say.
Okay. Scobee Ilf. Loved each episode. Just read Mike's book, listened to. Has anyone pointed out the parallels between Mike Rinder and St. Paul? Wise adventures at sea, inspiring 180-degree turn when the truth became undeniable?
There you go.
Nope. Nobody's ever pointed that out before. Thank you. I'm going to start calling. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saint Mike.
Yuli123. An hour ago, my birthday officially ended. My birthday wasn't great, but at least you were streaming. Greetings
Aw.
from Germany.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
I hope we've made your birthday a little more enjoyable.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Andrew Humphrey. Mike, I saw an A&E doc where a clean-shaven MR was spewing lies and nonsense. Glad to see a bearded truth teller now. Well, thank you. By the way, that A&E doc is very interesting. It was done by a woman named Heidi Ewing. She was the producer of that episode, and I became friends with her. She is now a extraordinarily successful documentary filmmaker who has made some absolutely amazing films. Look her up. Her film company is called Loki, L-O-K-I, Loki Films.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. Chi-Town native. Question. What kind of trouble would you be in if you forgot the COS lingo? Hi, everyone. Remember to hit like and subscribe to all channels. Wait, Aaron? Okay. Okay.
I wish we could forget the lingo.
I know. I'm married to an ex-Sea Org member, so that makes it hard. My dog's trying to give me his blanket.
We all
We
are.
all are, Amy.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
are silly goose.
So is Aaron. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't mean just me.
Mine's right over there somewhere. Where is she? There she is.
yeah, she's right down there.
Present.
Here's a story about a lovely lady.
Okay. Catherine Olson. Hi, Catherine. Someone in
Catherine.
the Flag Bureau once got a giant Dev T stamp on his face.
Oh.
He was told not to wash it off for the whole day.
Oh,
What an
that's
ass.
a
Sea
Tuesday in Los Angeles in the Sea Org, folks.
100%. Yeah, and I guarantee that RTC person had to take a photo and send it to David
Send it out.
Miscavige.
Yeah.
This is how we're getting ethics in.
Lisa Robinson, is the COS still doing the knocking on Incriminon? Yes, but not very successfully.
Barely.
They are shriveling fast.
Yeah, it's hard to make money when all you're doing is writing checks.
Settling lawsuits. Threshley, I absolutely love all of you and the resilience you have. I tried to get in touch before, but had no luck. I went to a Scientology school as a WOG, Chesapeake Ability Academy.
Oh, wow.
Well, you can write to me at my blog.
Yeah.
At Thrashley.
Or write to me too. I'm here.
Okay, Catmandu. Can someone go clear and quit? Suggestions, cautions? I know someone who has prepaid many thousands for a bridge package, but doesn't want to get sucked into OTs. Help appreciated. Thanks. Oh, don't bother doing anything further. Just quit. Walk away.
Yeah. And
no cautions, no suggestions. Leave. Run. Fast as you can. Get away before they get more of your money.
And if you want to get your money back, there's a lawyer named Graham Barry who might be the most successful getter back of money from Scientology. I think they've written this lawyer more checks than any other single lawyer in the history of Scientology. So,
okay, reseller rowboat. Mike and Marc, was it hard narrating your own books? Did you want to add or change anything while you were reading? No, I didn't find it hard. In fact,
I did.
found
I didn't
really
find it either, but I did find a lot of typos.
Yeah, I didn't. But you know,
You didn't. Well, you had a big zippity publisher company. I had me and Claire.
Yeah.
I had
Claire and
editor
I.
in mind.
See, that's
By
what
the way,
happened.
Me and Claire. Yeah, my ninth grade education. So my book,
Oh yes, Amy. Good.
Scientology.
Good. Hold. Let me just.
Scientology Abuse at the top. Where's Dave on there, on the cover there, right there? So I just got it produced in paperback. This is a proof, so I'll have it in the next couple days, and I'm going to be the only one. Yeah, so I'm going to be the only one that sells the paperback. I'm going to do it directly, and I'm going to do little games and stuff like that on the different videos to send them out to people and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So that's going to be made available, and it's got an updated picture because the other one from 2009 was like old. But anyway,
Nice.
so so that's coming out.
Nice.
Yep, real soon.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good. How do people order it, Amy?
It's going to be through Scobee Publishing at gmail.com.
Scobee Publishing
So,
at email.
Scobee Publishing at
sending you
gmail.com.
orders right now.
Yeah, if they want to. Yeah, they can write to.
Yeah, put a
Scobee
link in your
Publishing.
put a link in your description, Amy, and then that way people can
Right.
email you.
And tell them how
Will
much
do.
they have to send you to buy
Okay,
it.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Get you some orders,
Good point.
or at least some
Okay. Thank you.
reservations.
Yes. Wow.
COB.
They'll be signed by me and by my husband Matt.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, he just volunteered. He said, "Marc and Claire signed their book. You want me to sign the book with you?" And I said, "Yes."
Nice. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, COB ILF. I want to make it up to you with tags that say things like sexy Australian man and delightful cracker enthusiast.
That's so funny.
Oh, that is great. Delightful cracker enthusiast. Okay, Goldie, backflasher. That sounds naughty. Yes, it does. Bellada.
Ah.
Amy seems like such a pure spirit. I agree with you.
Well, thank
Doesn't
you.
even seem that way. She is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Snot face. I had ChatGPT write me all sorts of short stories about DM being angry about not being able to reach the top shelf, being compelled to go on a roller coaster. They are hilarious. Yeah, ChatGPT is like definitely happening scene. Donna Rose, question. Odds that the Masterson jury could be sequestered if meddling is discovered. So grateful for you guys and your dedication. No idea. I haven't got a clue. Sorry. Just don't know. Marc, hello from Russia.
Hello.
Yeah. We're not saying hello. Just
No,
Marc.
not from Russia.
Amelia. Oh, wait. Am I in the starred ones? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Do you want me
Yeah,
to
I
help,
didn't.
Mike?
I've
want me to
started
help
a few other. I've started a few other ones that weren't super chats.
Yeah,
I do
I
that
understand.
sometimes.
I just suddenly I went, oh, am I in the wrong little bit of my screen here?
Oh. I
Emily
realize I could be
Bowen.
starring if I wanted to too.
Wow, overt means bad and damaging. Overt means to do something openly, plainly, out in the open.
Right.
That's
right.
some Freudian stuff. LOL.
Exactly.
Something that
Yeah.
direct is bad, be covert, underhanded. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
really
good point.
point. Okay, Erica M. Question: how did you budget your $45 a week? I know housing, etc., is covered, but even clothes, hygiene, haircuts, glasses. How did each of you make it work, or what did you go without? A lot.
I bought cigarettes, honestly.
I was gonna say,
Literally bought
is-
cigarettes.
yeah, cigarettes and caffeine. Those are the
Coffee.
two
Yeah,
ingredients
that's
you
what kept-
needed.
You had to have it.
Yeah, nicotine and
going.
caffeine. And that's it. You're good.
Yep.
Tony Cameron, COS wins title for most crazy titles in one place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Title for most crazy titles. Steph, if you do something bad on the down low, then it's a covert overt.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I like that. I like that.
They call that a withhold.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emily, good catch. Don't know
So
what
in other
Ellen
words, you have
about.
to confess twice. First to the overt, the thing you did,
Mhm.
and then to the
Yep.
fact of withholding it. The
That's right.
withhold.
Ooh,
And if someone almost finds out, it's called a missed withhold.
Yes.
okay, we have some truth or consequences here.
Uh-oh, what do we got?
Nancy Hansen, can you guys tell your age?
Ooh.
Can you tell what our ages are?
Yeah, let's see the guesses in the comments. Let's do that.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody guesses all of us right, then we will read the comment.
Oh, Mark.
How you
That's brutal.
They have to get all four. It's like the lottery. If you win, we'll read it.
okay?
I was
you
fine
gonna
with
keep track
saying
of
my
who's
age.
responding? So was I.
Sure.
So
Yeah, it's all good.
You're
You were
gonna
going to let it
consider-
slide?
no.
I like this person not touching that.
I was going to say. It's going to be all these people that are like, Mark's 25, Mike's 23, Claire's 21, and Amy's
Somebody
21.
do that. 24, 25,
Somebody did
26, 27. You're all
Yeah.
21, right?
See, that's why I knew they wouldn't do it. See?
That's funny. Mark is 87.
Oh my God, somebody said Mark's 46 because he said he's the same age as Shakira. No, I said she was about our age. Oh, wow. There's some people that are really hitting it pretty close, though, I want to say.
Oh, wait, what was that one?
They're flying by.
Oh, they're
my
flying
God.
by.
This is kind of funny. I love that this community is so into playing games like
Yeah.
this.
Games.
It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
I know. It is pretty amazing. You just ask for one thing and suddenly there's hundreds of people all responding with their
Yes.
own little takes on stuff. It's pretty funny.
It is
Yeah.
awesome.
You're all over 50.
Yeah.
Well, I will admit to that.
I'm not.
Yeah. Neither am I.
Amy, thank you.
Somebody's Googling it. Yeah, people are getting their Google foo on right now. Who is the fastest Googler
Yeah,
that can
I
hit?
think this Mary S is on the Google. Must be
Yeah.
on the Google. Yeah.
Okay, so Apollonia Paradise. Do Scientologists vote in federal elections? How about ex-Scientologists? Well, Scientologists do vote in federal elections. That's a whole nother subject too, of how they vote and why they vote the way they do. Generally, Scientologists vote according to there is one driving factor that Scientologists use to determine how they vote, and that is one person or party pro-psychiatry or anti-psychiatry. That is a defining factor that Scientologists use to vote, and generally that means that they vote in the United States Republican, because Republicans tend to be anti-government funded healthcare and Democrats tend to be pro-government funded healthcare, and government funded healthcare includes mental health care, so therefore they don't want to have anything to do with that. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that Hubbard said about governments and about welfare, and so yes, they do vote. As do
And I was just going to say, like at the Ent base, lived there for 20 years. I never knew anybody, so you're just kind of told, like anyone running, but you're just kind of told this is who we want, and so you
Yep.
go and do your thing. But literally, I mean, I remember David Miscavige asked me one time, "Who's the governor of California?" A place I lived in California for 20 years. I had no idea. We didn't know these things at all. I mean, I could barely tell you who the president was, but so it was one of these things where it has nothing to do with us. Oh, so you should tell us who we all should vote for, and then we go and do that. That's it.
Do
I never-
vote? Sorry.
Yeah. I never voted just because I was a resident alien the whole time, and I finally
Oh, yeah.
became a U.S. citizen a couple of years ago.
You're a major alien.
But I remember at the Ent base, an issue would come out and it would say, this is the candidate, this is their pro psychiatry, this is the other candidate. They've never said anything, but it doesn't look like they support psychiatry.
Right.
And that's all it said. But that was code for don't vote for this one, vote for this one. And they would list the whole thing like that. So you would get, and it would be exactly how the ballot was laid out. So you would just go into the booth and you'd look and you'd be like, okay, that's how you'd vote.
Yep. Okay. Next, Jeff Pearljam. In Scientology, are you persuaded to support actors and musicians, Jason Lee, Beck, Jenna Elfman, when they have movies and music out and reject them if they leave? Yeah, I guess. I mean, obviously, when Tom Cruise movies came out, all Scientologists were expected to go and watch them.
Yeah. Well, in the Sea Org, when Battlefield Earth came out, we had to go see it 3 times in a row, and we sat in the movie theater and just slept because we never slept.
I snuck out and went and saw Gladiator, which is a far better movie.
Do you remember though too that we also all went and saw Far and Away just once, not 3 times?
Yeah.
And we also went and saw Pulp Fiction.
Oh, we did?
I don't remember the
I didn't. We didn't go see Pulp Fiction.
I didn't see Pulp Fiction. Far and Away we did see, and then 3 times Battlefield Earth. And I was always trying to, follow the rules, so I didn't go sneaking into other theaters like Mark, Mr. J.
Oh yeah, no. After that first round, I was like, oh, that's not happening again. I'm going to see that Russell Crowe movie.
Because we never got to go do stuff like that. So that was our only outing, and it was an enforced outing.
Yeah.
Okay. Katutogi Road. If you had a time machine and went back to younger versions of yourselves to warn them of the evils of Scientology, would you have listened to them? No.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I would have... myself back then would have really wanted to listen to my time travel self, but I don't know that I could have.
Mm-hmm.
Only if my time travel self brought some lottery numbers, then maybe we would see what we were going.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I think that our experiences made us who we are, and
I agree.
Well, I always say if I didn't go there, then I wouldn't have met Claire, then we wouldn't have the kids.
Right.
And so it's like,
there's a lot.
You gotta
a lot tied in with that.
You just gotta.
But what we can do is warn everybody: don't make the mistake of walking into that place. It's a trap.
Yeah.
The one thing I would tell myself is, you can never get the time back. So that's what I tell people now. There was a guy that watches our videos that I emailed 17 years ago and tried to get him to leave, and I kept emailing him, and he was ignoring me, but then finally he answered and said, please stop harassing me and my family. And so after that, I'm like, I'm out, I'm done, I tried. And now he wrote to me and he goes, I so wish I would have listened to you. And I'm I know, dude, because it was 17 years. It's gone. The 17 years is gone.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
is this a religion or a military school?
Well, right.
Not even.
It's very close. It's like a Davies Navy. It's a quasi
not even a religion.
Military. It's neither.
Not a religion. Yeah,
it's neither. It's a cheap imitation of both.
Right.
Psycho.
Fabian Andiel. Mike, with the existence of BTs, how can you punish anyone? It always could have been their BTs, not them doing the punishable action. Yeah, well, see, this is one of the tricks of BTs.
Nobody knows it, though.
You can't.
Nobody knows about BTs, hardly.
Yeah, I know, but even those who do, you can't use them as an excuse. Like, they are actually the excuse for everything, according to Hubbard, but you can't use
it
to excuse your transgressions or the things that someone wants to punish you for. You can't say, that was a BT that made me do it. But then on the other hand, the entire subject of BTs and the entire subject of knots and solo knots and all of that is about how these things unduly influence you to do things that are not yourself.
Yeah.
So it's
but it doesn't apply as a staff member somehow at all.
or
Yeah.
even a Scientologist, it doesn't apply. You can't walk
No.
into the ethics office and say, "Oh yeah, the reason why I did X, Y, and Z that you're commenting me for is because my BTs told me to do it."
It's like you don't believe the technology. You know.
Exactly. That's exactly that's sort of the point I'm trying to make, Amy.
Yeah.
On one hand,
Yeah.
it is the explanation for everything, and you're supposed to be paying tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to relieve yourself of this. But on the other hand, you're going to use it as an excuse.
I love it. I just had a cognition.
Right.
The room has gotten brighter. Jude Morrow, for a guy
I
who's
never realized that. Sorry.
For a guy who spends millions on hair and makeup, it's weird why We Dave doesn't have a babe farm. Elrich didn't either. They're the only cult leaders who didn't. Would they have impotent body things?
Oh my goodness. The BTs made me sterile.
Rural SD lawyer. Lawyers have their own lingo too. When your kids ask to do something, motion denied. If they ask again, asked and answered. Oh, I like that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm going to use that motion denied.
Motion
Yes.
denied.
I'm going to use
Can I-
asked and answered.
Yeah.
Can da 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 da. No.
Knowing my
Why?
kids,
Why?
they would literally be like, "Can I get a sidebar, please?"
I'm taking this up on appeal.
Yeah.
86 GOP, Claire, Amy. I recently went back and watched the cringeworthy DM interview with Koppel. I noticed that DM referred to women as girls twice within minutes of one another. Was this a common faux pas?
The faux pas were far worse than that. At the base.
Yeah. That was
The C word was hurled around on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So yes, that was the public acceptable version.
yeah, the milk toast version.
yeah. Oh yeah, no.
He
He
had
would
no
see
respect
you
for
next
women.
Tuesday was
He
a
did
very frequent word out of David Miscavige.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but don't explain it. But no, like one time he had all the I don't know what "see you next Tuesday" means. Is that something that's
Amy, you are so.
It's in the
Okay, forget
private
it.
chat, Amy.
okay? I'll check
Are we,
it.
if we're doing word clearing, I don't know what it means either. We're just
Okay,
doing-
it's in the
Okay, so-
private chat. Here you
Okay.
go. Just go to the
Okay,
private
we'll
chat and you
check
can
it
see.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
we'll check it out.
Nice.
But anyway, am I going
Oh.
to turn red?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I see.
Oh, I see.
And the other thing I was going to say is one time, I mean, David Miscavige, yeah, he doesn't have any respect for women. One time he lined up all the ladies in the watchdog committee and had us all turn around so we could look at our asses. And then he said, "Yep, that's what I thought." And so we're like, "What? That we have a swivel chair spread, or like what? Why is?" And it was just like walked out. So now we're all in mystery about our butts. I mean, he's just
He
an
walked
ass.
in
He's an
that
ass.
he did that into management?
Yeah, and watchdog committee. Oh, he did all kinds of stuff. He talked
He did.
about. Oh, I can't even. Yeah, it was bad.
Yikes. That's crazy.
Hey.
I didn't even know he did that.
I hadn't heard that one either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been hearing all kinds of crazy stuff in my new series that hopefully will get started next week. I hope we'll see.
Yes.
Okay, Denise Brown, Amy Claire, would it be possible to do an interview with Nancy Maney? Her story is quite interesting.
Yes, absolutely. I think so. We'll add it to our ever-growing list of things to do.
Yep. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey,
Hey, Jeff.
I was called all of those things at one time, usually embellished with a swear word,
Yeah.
as were we all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And usually embellished with many swear words.
Yes.
Nancy Hansen, Mike mentioned an older gentleman that has not been seen in years. I'm wondering, can APS, Adult Protective Services, be called to check on some of the forgotten elders instead of LAPD? CPS or APS is usually unstoppable, ? I'm really not sure of the answer to this, but I suspect you're probably it is possible if there's a family member who is willing to reach out to those services and give some details and specifics as to why they would like to have that check done. I think that's a great idea. I think that if there are family members, like just a random member of the public doesn't have much chance of pulling this off, but a family member certainly does. And so if there are family members out there, please don't, you don't have to advertise it. You don't have to make a big splash about it. But if you really care about the people, then take steps that you can to perhaps find out and maybe offer something to those people who could use a hand.
Yeah, at worst case scenario, they could actually have your relative contact you where you could let them know, hey, if you ever are going to go on vacation or you're ever, when you plan to retire, if you want to come stay with us, you can always come. You know, that might be a way just for them to be able to get word from you that there is a place for them to go if they were to retire, or if you haven't heard from them, hey, we'd love to just hear from you on a regular basis. That might, and Scientology in a lot of cases would oblige to not create a public relations situation. So they would encourage the person, hey, you need to go see them for a week, or you need to go and visit with them, so that there's not a situation. And sometimes that's how the seed can get planted for them to leave.
Yep.
It's never because they want you to be in touch with your family. It's so that there's no bad PR for Scientology. That's the only reason.
Which ironically will sometimes help people get in touch with their family.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
To avoid a public relations flap. There have been many people who do go on what's called a leave, or go to a wedding, or go to a birthday or some kind of family reunion, and they never return.
Yep.
Fabian Andiel, how do Scientologies can work so many hours without going insane? Who says they don't go insane?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We all went insane. Like I mean like literally incapable of thinking straight.
Yeah.
Like you would reach
It's
the point,
automatic.
yeah, no, but you would reach the point of not being able to be coherent at times, like literally. And that is going crazy.
That's also how you don't leave when things are insane, because you're not thinking correctly and you can't understand why all that, you cannot process it. So you can't make a causative decision to leave, because you don't know, you have no way of getting out of this craziness in your mind even.
Yeah.
Yep.
They keep us numb by keeping it's torture, actually.
Yeah.
Sylvia Gross, Dev T is babysitting in WOG World. Means I got to follow behind you and make sure you do your job so I can do my job, because you're a child and need supervision. Okay. Apollonia Paradise. I've been following anti-Scientology blog shows since John Sweeney 2007 Doc. I was wondering why I couldn't understand the lingo. I thought it was me, not.
Oh no.
Okay, Fabian, did you ever meet a left Scientologist, communist, socialist? Oh, meaning a left-leaning Scientologist? Oh, I'm sure there's left-leaning Scientologists.
Yeah.
I don't know about communist, socialist. Communism and socialism are Hubbard-like swear words almost.
Yeah, wasn't it technical D grades, or keeping Scientology working, where he brings up socialism and communism and
or in many places. So if you're a real Scientologist, you're not going to be a communist or a socialist.
No.
You're going to be nothing besides a Scientologist. Like, you don't have any other concept besides Scientology and the whole world of Scientology. That's it.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, if there's a politician who's not the same party affiliation as them, and they support Scientology, they'll go whole hog on that person. They don't care what their affiliation is, even if they lean one way or the other. It's just like any other thing. They say you can be a Christian or a Jewish or anything. They don't, as long as the person is promoting Scientology, they'll support whatever. They're selling crazy water or they believe in whatever. As long as they can give them money or some kind of power, great. We love you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Marc. Hi, guys. Great show. Janice and I have a new show dropping this weekend. Thanks for your help.
Yay.
Yep. Tune in, guys. I didn't even know what Marc and Janice's. Do any of you guys know what their YouTube channel is?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
I'm
peeling
stories, peeling the onion.
Onion.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so go check it out, everybody. More the merrier. More stories about the real inside scoop on what happens in Scientology, the better.
Yep.
Angela Booster just sending hugs around XX.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Nice.
Deedy weedy.
Not face. Does Scientology still donate books to libraries? Do members use them? Public libraries here. I put aftermath cards in the books.
Nice.
All you rock. And yes, they do. They don't care about the books getting into the libraries. That's actually long gone concept. What they care about is selling the books so that they can make the money, so that they can have their stats up, because the number of books sold is a stat that the people in the pubs orgs have, so that they have to keep it going up. But it's also something that David Miscavige loves to talk about at the international events. So, we've sold, 74,000 books this month, and what? And those books are in a dumpster.
Yeah, and when they tell the stat of the ones that go to libraries, books sent to libraries. It's not books in libraries, because a lot of times when the libraries get them, they just dump them in the garbage too.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Dave ever call Shelley any of those terms?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't hear it.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
He did.
Erica, did any of you think it was odd that years went by without new OT levels? Why do you think that's not a tip-off to current people that something is wrong?
Yeah.
Because current people are current because they still believe that there's always something just over the horizon that is going to make Scientology what it has been promised to them that it would be. Like, it is the ultimate game of the donkey with the carrot. There is always something in the future, and Scientologists are incredibly willing to accept that, we know that Ron said in 1950 that you could be clear by doing what he said in Dianetics, the Science of Mental Health, and yet none of it ever came true. But Scientologists have been conditioned almost to believe that there will be something that's just about to come that will make that possible and make it all happen. And
it's a never-ending bait and switch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Destiny Salazar, so excited to get my bobblehead from Monday's Live. Decided to pay it forward on the SP shop. Keep the love going. Thank you.
Yes.
Destiny.
We have all kinds of giveaways ready for Monday.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Great. Grounded in truth, Scientology Sea Org is actual torture and slave labor. Can I say that on YouTube? Bless you and all who identify with this abuse. Yes, you can.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Sea Org members make an average of 36 cents an hour, which is less than what's considered slave wages.
Lathander Grunklinger, I'm in the middle of listening to Mike's book, and it's so well written and read. Mark's and Amy's book are next. Claire, will yours come as audio too?
Yes. Marc has to help me out with that, but yes, that's my intention.
No problem.
And I have to finish writing it first too.
Yeah.
Minor details.
Kathy Ann, after you got out, did you have health issues you didn't know about from being in COS and not having insurance, proper health care, any lasting problems from the hard labor and lack of sleep?
My doctor said, have you ever considered suing Scientology? Because my test results were so bad that they said, I can't even believe you can get out of bed in the morning. I had zero thyroid. And if you go on my channel and look at my St. Pete Times videos, you can see this is before I figured out what the heck was going on with me. You can see the difference because my body was just literally shutting down. And the doctor, I had to get on all kinds of different things, and it's all under control now. But boy, that was definitely a scare. And I think that one of the things, not only the lack of sleep and all the other stuff, but I also think that purification program that they put us on for 8 months straight, sitting in that sauna for 5 hours a day with 5,000 milligrams of niacin. I couldn't get out of there fast enough.
You were taking 5,000 every day.
Every single
5,000 milligrams of niacin every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
Anyway, my body was
months?
really this way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that wreaks havoc. No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, my doctor says I have the hips and knees of a 90-year-old arthritic guy. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I destroyed my hips and knees. Just destroyed them.
I broke my leg so bad they wouldn't tell me I'd be able to walk again. That was while I was still there.
Wow.
Yep.
Totally.
Obviously I can walk perfectly fine now, but
yeah, thank God. Thank God.
You not only walk, you run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robinson.
I tell people running up that mountain is my therapy. It's excellent.
Yeah, Claire ran to the top of Pikes Peak one time. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a crazy person.
Yeah. We're talking.
Stacy Y. Oh, Stacy Y. Amy, wasn't sure if Mike had given you a bobblehead since you're also close in proximity and friends. LOL. Regift if you have one already.
I don't have one already. It's my first one. He did not give me one. No.
Well, to be fair, we have all the bobbleheads in Colorado because we're the ones that make them and we're the ones that sell them. So
come on.
We don't give them away for free. They're fundraisers. So I'm kind of trying to raise money with them.
Thank you,
Stacey Y. Thank you, Stacey Y.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just kidding. Having fun.
Bison 5360. Hello there. Nice to see you guys. When I am thinking in my mind and answer myself and say, whatever, it is Mike Rinder's voice in my head I hear saying, whatever.
That's great. Okay. And blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
My version of that is, it's not the end of the world. I say
it all
the time. Yes. It's not the end of the world.
You know what? One thing that was said a lot that was said in the Sea Org, and it was slammed down by David Miscavige. Somebody said, "It is what it is," and that was, oh my God, he got so upset that somebody said that because you're causing your situation. It's not just what it is. It's never it is what it is.
You know, there was that song, "Make It Go Right." Well, we used to say, "Make it go," right?
Right.
I used to get in so much trouble for doing that because whenever there'd be a goody two shoe around, they'd write it up, and it'd be like, Mark used a LRH song. He kind of twisted the meaning of it.
That's called
D&D,
right?
Yes. Oh.
Wait, what? T-shirt I would buy. Front, I lick the crackers. Back, I'd do it again. Mark and I had a cracker licking incident at dinner time.
We did.
He was teaching me how to lick crackers.
Yeah, we were demonstrating it. And then somebody took a picture of us doing it, and they said, "Look at these two cracker lickers I caught at dinner."
I got those pictures.
So did I. So I happen to know who took the.
Okay. Goldie, Stephanie Hutchinson's orphan blog, Alzin's blog, author Alzin.
There you go.
I thought it was
Shatter.
Ashland's, but maybe I don't know.
Ashland's?
Ashland's. That's what I thought.
How did I say it? Ashland's?
Yeah.
Ashland? Ashland. I say confront and shatter. Stephanie Hutchison.
Yes.
Yeah.
That word defeats me. Marilyn, I'm so glad you can all laugh about these ridiculous terms and labels. It was total BS. P.S. I mailed your packages yesterday. I'm so excited for you to receive them.
Oh.
Well, we're really excited to receive them.
Yeah,
Marilyn.
look, I have a whole little collection here. This one is Marilyn's, and this one is from I can't remember the name, but we linked to the Etsy store. Amazing name. Rain something is her name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're so cute. They are so cute.
Yes.
Looks like we're ignoring the chat, so much so that we clicked on the chat that says we're ignoring it.
Oops.
The irony.
Yes.
Oh.
On point.
It's funny. Oh, you are so funny, Mark.
Lisa Shane, zero connection to Scientology here, and I love SPTV.
Yay.
Thank you.
Nice.
That's good.
Yay.
Happy we're reaching people who have zero connection to Scientology.
Yes.
Robbie Robinson, what would you guys think about getting a 1-800 number that's easy to remember for SEO members, like 1-800-4SP-HELP? Well,
Wait, yeah, maybe. Or 1-800-2-ESCAPE. How about that?
But they wouldn't, in a lot of cases, they wouldn't be able to get to a phone, or if they did call on a phone, it would get tracked, or they'd block the number and the phones that they have. We are doing as much as we can to get the word out, and we are getting the word out because we're helping people all the time. So I think whatever we're doing is working, and that is, by the way, Scientology does really go hard and troll us on the internet, and they have websites, they have Twitter, they have people on Facebook and Instagram. They have people everywhere that talk smack about us. So we must be doing something right. Okay.
Yep.
okay. Shirley Keeler. Good night, folks. I did ask a question earlier. Another time. Love from 1066 East Sussex.
Oh, nice.
There you go. That's the second one we got for Shirley.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, Marc, you're on the ball. Hey, Aaron, I tried to do a super chat on Amy's channel, but she is not monetized yet, so here you go.
Yay.
Oh, hey, Aaron, sending us money.
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you did, Aaron, we want to get Amy's channel so that YouTube will put ads and put it on the recommended pages and all that. So she has to have a certain amount of subscribers, and she has to have a certain amount of watch hours. So if you're watching this video on my channel or you're watching it on Mike's channel, if you can open it up on Amy's channel and like and subscribe her video, it's going to help it so her channel and her videos get put up on the recommended pages, and the algorithm puts it in more people's faces and in front of more people to watch it. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you for saying that. And my YouTube channel is at Who Is Amy Scobee, because Scientology has 12
domains.
What is it called? Domains. 12 domains about Who Is Amy Scobee. So they don't own that. So I made my Twitter Who Is Amy Scobee.
Nice.
Your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll put a link in our videos to her channel. So if you're on one of our channels, there's a link in my description on going over to Amy's.
Okay.
Thank you for doing
I'll
that.
add it as soon as we're done on mine.
Perfect.
Ann Hummingbird, love all of you. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Love your name. Kathy Collins, Marc reminds me of my brother. He's a jokester too. Not face. Oh my God, I love it. I have my library order. All forms of Mike's book. All support here. Thank you.
Nice.
That's great. That's a really good thing to do. Irma Webb, no toilet paper was a major Scientology staff out point.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
That happened a lot.
Oh yeah, we did a whole video about there's just no toilet paper at that joint.
That was very poopy.
Oh man.
Here's a contribution for Marc's next box of Ritz.
Yes.
Okay, we had a whole discussion in the cracker licking session
Yeah.
of what the best crackers in fact are. Marc actually is quite partial to a Ritz. I myself, I favor Triscuits.
Oh.
So I like the salty nature of Triscuits, and I like to lick the salt off them.
I can't say I'm a big cracker fan myself, but
I wasn't either until this whole thing started. But I've been eating a lot of crackers. I had oyster crackers, club crackers, and I've been taking selfies with crackers. I've got multiple cracker selfies because every time I see a package of crackers, I'm like, oh, let me look at those, and I lick them, and I go, these aren't really lickables.
Put it back in the bag and give it to someone else.
I did do that.
my
I was
gosh.
doing that with Mike today. That's when we got the picture taken. I was like, you want it?
I don't like crackers without salt.
Yeah.
No.
They're no fun.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Devastivo, Claire, were you referred to by any of these derogatories during those years that you were trying to lose your English accent for a much lamer American Californian one?
Yes, I've been called many derogatories. Many.
I think we have all been called every single thing that we said.
Oh yeah.
All of us.
Everything that was on that list. And
many
more.
times,
Many
numerous
times.
Yes.
Maybe even all of them in one meeting with David Miscavige.
Yep.
There may have been meetings where we were all called those things individually in a meeting with David Miscavige.
And then as a group, you're all a bunch of blah,
Well, that's
blah,
what I'm
blah,
saying.
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron says Sonny Pereira was labeled a tiger, only one I've ever known of.
There you go.
I think he might be right. I think there was a few people at the end base who were
Well,
labeled
because-
tigers, but that might have been before our time kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, well, it wasn't before my time because I had to. I was on the mission manning lines, where if you send a mission out to an organization, you had to man it up, and I was responsible for manning missions. And you couldn't be a tiger. You couldn't have a tiger declared to go on a mission. So I knew that there were people who were tiger declared. I think Gary Busey was.
Yeah, a mission, guys, is like a Scientology goon squad that you assemble to send to go deal with the situation. And,
That's right.
And the people that would go on these missions, they would always have to have these really, really super specific qualifications. And you could never get the goon squad list approved, and it would always get rejected. And then finally, in the end, usually David Miscavige would just dictate who was going to go, and they'd all be people that you would have got yelled at if you would have said, these are the people I want to pick for the mission. He would have yelled at you for 2 hours straight. But when he picks up, they don't have to have any of the qualifications that you had to go by to man the mission. Am I too inaccurate in that?
No, that was my life for a while.
Mark, someone just said we should do a Cracker of the Month subscription for a foundation fundraiser.
Yeah, well, we're going to do, I'm telling you, when I get back to Colorado, we're going to do cracker licking videos. We're going to rate them how many licks they are. We're going to have tongue little meters on the screen, and we'll figure it out. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, God.
Lick that cracker.
Maria. Hi, Maria. Were any of these positive, like go-getter or superstar? Or was everything a person or group called a slur? Or were they just more negative? No, there was not much in the way of positive.
I was going to say,
I was trying to figure out
Caw-con.
Yeah,
and nobody got it.
Yeah,
no
Caw-con was like, the policy says you're given 9 lives because you're producing, you're an up statistic. And quote unquote, you can get away with murder.
Now that I think of it though, didn't Lisa Schroer, Henning, and Matt and Eric, they got that issue where it wasn't Caw-con, but it was about the closest thing you could get to it.
Yep.
Well, probably highly commended with a bonus, which clears your ethics file or something.
Well, it was basically like, these are the people that work for me, from David Miscavige. These are the people that work for me and that are getting stuff done. And if anybody gets in their way, then you're toast, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just arbitrary.
Doobie C. Fugel. Tool fans, have you seen the Maynard David Cross interview about Tool playing at the SC Blue building?
It was actually it was actually a band called Tool that played at the Celebrity Center in the Garden Pavilion. And they are not a Celebrity Center at the Garden Pavilion friendly show. And it is amazing. And if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the video in my description. It's I want to say it's like a hardcore punk rock band. They're wearing leather, like barely any leather, and they have a punk show at CC. And I think they even might have done some songs that had Scientology related lyrics in them. Even I don't remember if that was in there, but it was. When you guys watch the video, if Amy sees the video, knowing she was over the Celebrity Center, if you watch this video, Amy, you will be shocked. It will shock you. Yeah, it's amazing.
So they totally punked Cece.
100%. Cece had no idea what they were signing up for. They thought this really super popular band was going to do a show for them at their music showcase or whatever. They had no idea it was going to be like a semi-X-rated punk rock show that was like over the top, super, super inappropriate for anyone who was there that was a Scientologist. They were committing an overt by just being at the show. It was like, it's amazing. It's one of the best things you'll ever see.
That's funny. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Funny how Marc seemed to be a frequent offender on all of these terms. LOL. Yeah.
He was my inspiration.
Yes.
Okay. Shirley Keeler. Jeez, we got a lot of Shirley Keelers here.
Yeah.
Claire, you're from East G, yes?
East Grinstead. Well,
she was from Manchester.
yeah, I was from Manchester, moved to, well, whatever. I spent 7 years in East Grinstead, yes.
Okay.
We got 30 questions left. We're getting through them.
Yay.
Asher Coben, Mike, has CFS ever filed an amici brief or an ex parte motion in a legal case to give COS the ability to give their point of view? Since they're not a party, they're protected from being questioned. I love your legal analysis. I don't think that that I have ever recalled them filing an amici brief, but plenty of ex parte motions. But ex parte motion is a different thing than, like, you're not protected from being questioned on an ex parte motion. We don't need to get into the legal significance of all of this stuff here, but Scientology has on many occasions asked for others to file amici briefs for supporting Scientology.
Yeah, on their behalf.
Scientology doesn't tend to go out of their way to help anybody else. They only want people to help them when they need help. They're not so interested in going out and helping anybody else with their problems.
Yep.
Dev T.
Yep. Okay. Destiny Salazar, was it hard to accept help without suspicion after leaving COS?
Yes.
For me, it was.
Everybody nodding their head.
I always felt, like, what
you
was
definitely
the intention
second
behind
guess.
it?
Yeah, you definitely second guess and kind of try to think, could this person be that? And if they were, what would the benefit be? And how would when did I meet up with them? And you definitely think about those things.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, is it a victim mentality to think you'll be victimized by a victim?
Great question.
Yes, you're being a victim.
That's funny. Okay. Persilma. Except for Mike, I saw him on the BBC thing. It's impossible to believe these people were ever like what they're describing. Wow, Thank you. That's a very nice compliment.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Len Zinberg, super sticker. Hi, Len.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you, Len.
Thank you.
Len is a wonderful guy. He was on the Aftermath.
Yep.
Told an amazing story about the Guardian's office. Goldie, Marilyn, the amazing crochet lady, has started a new FB group, Coffee, Cults, and Crafts. And
Great one.
Great.
Nice.
Okay, Midwest Girls, COS definitely a victim must have made it that much harder for you all to heal from a cult that truly victimized you. Yeah, that's probably true.
You don't and seriously, when people that are watching this are Scientologists, I tell them, and this is a good reason to do it this way, is you say, listen, we're not victims. We're not being victims. We are survivors. We escaped. So we're not doing this because we're victims. We're doing this because we're survivors, and we're trying to help you guys that are still there, because you right now are being victims, whether you know it or not. You're unwitting victims, and we're trying to turn you over into a survivor. So if you're watching this and you're in Scientology, think of it from that perspective, and GTFO.
Right.
Abigail Sunouth. Hi, first time super chat. Mike, did you see the Anderson Cooper video Leah Remini posted a few weeks ago? It was so hard to watch. Seeing Marty Rathbun, representing former Scientologists, I cringed every time he popped up. Yeah, me too.
It is kind of crazy when you think about it like that.
I know.
It's Marty in a video talking trash about Scientology, and now he's talking about the people that trash talk Scientology.
Including the other people that were in the video with him on Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
Jeff Hawkins, Tom DeVocht.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did one for me on me too. I mean, just put the two videos side by side. It's like you can see he's just psychotic.
It's
sad to
insane,
say.
yeah.
Sad to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on I was abused physically and mentally. It helps to hear other stories. Thanks for sharing. Trying to get my son out. Maybe I'll tell my story then. Okay.
Wow.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
That is a very meaningful comment. And it is really like we are all trying to do something to help former Scientologists or people who are in Scientology. We also hope that we are able to help other people, that our stories, our experiences, our recounting what happened makes in some way it easier for others to find their way out of whatever predicament they're in. So hearing that sort of thing is always incredibly encouraging and greatly appreciated. So thank you.
Yes, completely.
Yes.
Okay. Claire must have started this one. Beryl, you're all 29.
I didn't star that one.
Okay. Hi from Brisbane, Australia. Have you all now given up smoking, and was it hard? Yes.
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 I'm not sure that it was that hard. I mean, I guess it was hard.
Well, I did give it up. It wasn't that hard, but I did give it up for sure.
Right. Yeah. I just had, and I just decided that I needed to do that. I smoked for some time after I left the Seahawk.
Yeah.
Like for a good amount of time.
Yeah,
And
so
then what really happened was I started doing medical research when I was working together with Aaron, when we were doing research for some investment funds. And we were primarily doing medical research, and every single issue that came up about, health related, the issue of whether you smoked or didn't smoke had an enormous impact on the outcome of your recovery from disease, your likelihood of getting disease or illness. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming. And I just went, oh, shit. Okay, I've been doing this for like 40 years. Enough. Is that me making that horrible noise, or can you hear that?
I can hear it. It's not mine.
It's probably our internet, Mark.
I can't hear it, and I wouldn't worry about it or call attention to it because they might not be hearing it in the live.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen one single comment. So
M341EHW, only as old as your Thetan. Okay. Mary Heicha, doesn't it matter how old your Thetan is? No.
No.
Doesn't matter. Peace through cookies. Keep shining your light on darkness. It'll triumph. Thank you.
Yes.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on the peace through cookies part too, just so you know.
Peace through crackers. Lisa Robinson, Mike, do you get back to Australia? Haven't been there since 2010.
Time for a trip.
We're talking about going.
I need to go too, by the way.
Okay, so let's make it a family vacation.
Well, I should say we need to go. I have 2 aunts on my dad's side that babysat me when I was 2 and 1 before my mom joined the Sea Org that I haven't seen since. I'm in touch with them, and it would be amazing to visit.
Where are they?
One is in New Zealand. I know it's a big place. I don't know.
I'll
just stop talking right now.
Yeah.
One's in Australia and one's in New Zealand. I think one's in Queensland. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
What do I know? I was born in a cult.
We'll talk about this off air.
Perfect.
Terry Zaleski, shoot, I am late. Bless you all, and thank you for all you do. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you for being here.
So here we are. Cheryl Texarkana, Mike 68, Marc 49, Claire 47, Amy 59.
Who is this person?
Can I just say something? You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I was thinking I was 47, and then I was like, wait a minute, I just had a birthday. I'm 48 now.
So that's not right.
You just had a birthday.
Plunk.
Yeah, so you could have said no. That's not the right answer, and we could have just all went on with our lives.
I'm not. I'm just an open book, Mark. You know this.
Okay, there you go.
Is that right for you, Mike?
This person was eerily close.
Yes.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
That was very. Yep. Okay, there you go. All right.
I will be turning 60 this year.
Wow. We got to throw a big old party, Amy.
Yeah. Big 60. Yep.
What month?
October.
Nice.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Terry again. Oh my gosh, with the foul language from that Tony man. How did you all adjust? Tiny man. How did you all adjust to professional settings? Where you around that vile language, it becomes normal for and beings you.
I know. That was a thing.
Yeah.
That was a real hard.
It was
Still
super
working
hard.
on it. Still working on it.
Yeah.
Not quite over that hump.
No, especially not when talking about.
Yeah,
topic.
Once we get together and we start talking, we slip right back into the language, and the sailor talk is very quick to turn on.
Destiny, the open invitation for a leave is how we got our family member out. Even
you
after
go.
a monitor was sent with him, there is hope.
Yay.
Oh.
Yay.
See?
Awesome.
There you go, folks. They
Again,
will. Oh, and
another reason why we're here doing this. That is amazing.
Yeah, the other thing is that sometimes they will send a person. That person called it a monitor. We call them a handler, or they call it even a watch.
Security watch.
Sometimes, if you're really good, you can get your relative and the person that went to watch them out, and that is a double. We call that. I don't know what we call that. It could be a double whammy. We can think of something. That's a super blow.
I was sent on as a watch with Kevin Cantano. He was a security guard. And then Allie Mintz was the person. She was in the watchdog committee, and I was sent to her family with Kevin
Ollie?
Cantano, and to watch Ollie, to go see her family.
Was that after she escaped, or before she
was
escaped?
still in the this is before she came. She was at the base, and I was sent, but I failed.
Because she left.
And Kevin and I came back. She was supposed to come back like right afterwards, and she never showed up. Yeah,
she escaped.
Oh.
She blew.
I had a failed mission. It was a big flap.
You know what's funny? You know where she lives now?
No.
She lives in Colorado. She lives in Denver.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she's still in. Yep. She's still a Scientologist.
Oh, for God's sake.
Even though she escaped from the base, she still drinks she just drinks the watered down Kool-Aid now. She doesn't drink the strong stuff that we had.
Yeah.
Okay, Nancy Hansen. DM was trying to look up your dresses. Haha. Don't get short with me, DM.
Good one.
I guess it's super chats only for them. Rex.
Another ironic comment that we're reading.
By the way, I saw the other night on Growing Up in Scientology, somebody came up with a brilliant idea, which is when we're doing chats and versus super chats, for the questions in just regular chat, write all caps question at the beginning and then put the question, and it makes them stand out so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, see, somebody just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it worked great.
Okay.
Fabian, thanks for the insightful answers you four and the community. Have a good one. Thank you. We'll try.
Thank you.
Okay, coming down to the end here, folks. Does it matter to you, not to me? Mark, you had mentioned that you went to knocking on Arrowhead back in the day. When was that? Was Gary Smith the ED at that time? I spent years at knocking on Arrowhead, working in Div 1. Wow.
Yeah, no, we shot videos at Narconon Arrowhead, but I personally never went there as part of the shoot team. I was usually over pre-production or shoot production. But no, that was the whole reason I actually ended up in the Sea Org, was to go work in Narconon in Oklahoma. And I never, ever went to a Narconon ever in Oklahoma. I went to the one in Los Angeles a few times, but I don't even think that I went to any other ones anywhere else besides the ones in Los Angeles. So, but Gary Smith was the executive director for almost the entire time. Yeah. We were doing videos with Narconon and all that, and yeah, I could tell a lot of stories about things that happened at Narconon with us shooting, but we'll save those for another video.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Wait, messed that one up. Sorry, fellows.
That's all good.
Snotface. I guess I'm curious about PubSci actually using the books in public libraries. Do they? So they don't have to purchase them? No, they have to purchase them. A Scientologist can't say, oh, I'm not buying books from the bookstore because I'm taking them from the library. Oh, no, the library books are supposed to be for the walks.
Yeah.
So that they will get into Scientology. You're not allowed to beg off buying books as a Scientologist by saying, oh, I'm going to the library and taking them out from the library.
Yeah, that would never fly ever in any circumstance.
Adam, Florida girl. You're all great. Dealing with my daughter, who is currently in a cult as family on outside. How do you help family on the outside understand? How do you help family on the outside understand?
Just that's the whole reason we're doing these videos, is to help family on the out. A lot of people that there's three different people that watch the videos. There's people that are in Scientology that don't really believe in Scientology, and they want to know about all the stuff that goes on in Scientology and behind the scenes stuff that Scientology will never tell them in a million years. And they also, a lot of those people know about the people that we're talking about. And that's why they watch the videos, to find about the people that they have interests in. And then there's people that have nothing to do with any of this, and they're just watching it because it's insane. And then there's people that have family members that are in Scientology, and they are interested to know what that person is going through or what they may be experiencing and how they can understand it. So when you understand it, it's a little easier to deal with it and figure out clever ways to get them to come and talk to you. And that's where we try to give people tips and tricks on how to do that. Because if you do it a certain way, like if you're antagonistic, then that's it. You're just never going to hear from them ever again. If you talk smack about Scientology, that's just going to shut them down or make you get blacklisted so you can never talk to them. But if you tell them that they can come on vacation, or if they want to retire, they can stay with you, that's a very white bread vanilla way of talking to a Sea Org member that won't get flagged or make it so they won't receive if you're a person who talks smack and you send a letter, they just put the letter right in the shredding. They just say, we got a letter. It was from Amy's dad. He was talking smack, so we shredded it. And that's it. Amy will never see it in a million years.
It doesn't even make it to the person. The thing that's really important is what Marc is saying is so true, and it plants a seed. Like I remember my dad said at one point, if you ever need me, I'm here. Well, how many times during the rough times that I went through over the years did that ring in my head? And in the end, he's who I went back to. He was never a Scientologist, and so it might take a little while, but just plant the seed and they will think about it because they are going to have hard times, believe me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thrashley, I will email Mike and Claire tomorrow. The ethics officer did not like my little ADHD wog self. I can't wait to share with you guys. Mike and Marc, love your books. Amy, Claire, you are inspiring.
Awesome.
Okay, looking forward to hearing from you, Thrashley.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Vicky Holland, I can't believe you all still try and make sense of the insanity of COS culture. Hi from Brisbane, Australia. Well,
Yes.
we try and explain it to people, not really try and make sense of it.
Yeah. And by the way, on our channels, you will find out legitimately more how Scientology works than watching hundreds of hours on the Scientology TV channel. They say it's flowery prose with no substance. They don't tell you anything. It's just all word salad.
Yep.
Exactly.
Word salad.
That's the second time you used that tonight.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was abbreviation salad earlier.
Oh, that's
but yes,
right. It was. You're big on the salads, though.
I have been eating salad for
Salad,
lunch for the
you
last
have.
2 weeks.
You have. That's
Good
true.
job, honey. I'm proud of you.
Destiny, I appreciate you acknowledging when OSA is lurking, but not calling them out. It's a long-term investment in their escape.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, if you're going to have a bridge, you're going to have trolls. That's just how it works. Scientology's very big on their bridge.
That's me, Gigi. Just went to Amy's channel to subscribe. I follow all of you guys now. Your live sessions make my night.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay. Glenda Stansbury, having read 20 Scientology books, present company included, but my intro was Jenna's book. How and where is she? How is she? She's fine. She is raising her family. She is in the San Diego area where she's been since she left the Sea Org, because that's where her husband came from, and it's a very nice place. And she is doing great, but is devoted to her life outside the Scientology world.
And her children.
Yeah.
Yes.
She wrote that book as sort of like, that's what happened, and peace
I'm
out.
done.
Peace out. Hi, Glenda, by the way.
King Rama, is there anything normal about DM? Does he watch sports, drink beer, smoke doobies? Ever see him let his guard down? Okay, anything normal? Yeah, well, he does watch sports. He watches Philadelphia sports. He does drink beer.
Which is amazing because none of us can.
Right.
He does drink beer, but not often. Smoke doobies? Never. Ever see him let his guard down? No.
He did.
Didn't
like
he have whiskey or?
Yeah, he does
what is it
McAllen's 12 year is
Yeah.
12 or 15 year, right, Mike? I think that's
maybe even older than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say McAllen's is his.
Other single malt ones that came from, especially imported from Scotland, and anyway.
And he got to do all kinds of things, like go on scuba diving expeditions and drink and watch sports and do all these things, and all of us are slaving around the clock.
Yeah.
We have no TVs; they're all confiscated. They were confiscated when I was a teenager. We're not allowed to have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
John Siskowski, Marc may need snack liquors anonymous. Before I joined them, I was up to 3 packs a day of Mr. Salty pretzels. I finally went cold turkey. Now I only lick cold turkey.
800 yum lick for help.
Oh my goodness! People this
awesome.
cracker licking thing is out of control.
Terry Perrylux, Marc, I watched a video you did with Aaron 5 years ago, and you need your goatee back. It looked.
Thumbs up. Yeah, no, it did. I liked it, but I had I think I got like a cheap coffee or something at McDonald's one time, and I was like, I gotta cut this off, man. It looked like Papa Smurf. So yeah, my beard is just a whole. It's whiter than Mike's somehow. I don't even know how that's possible, but it
How
grows.
is it possible to get whiter than mine?
It's literally like I look like Papa Smurf when I have a beard. It's just the way it grows.
I think
or
it looks
something.
good. I like
Yeah.
it with a beard.
I'm not a big fan of the facial
You're not?
hair.
Well, because
Oh,
that truly they think I'm robbing the cradle and I'm out with some young hot thing when I go out with Claire. Like, what's she doing with that
You
old dude?
are out with some young hot
Well,
thing.
I understand, but I'm just a couple of years older than her, not 20 like people think when we go out. So.
Oh dear.
Okay, SD Cat Level 1 super sticker. Thank you so much. We're down under 10.
Yay.
Yay, BBBB7. Do you guys know the internal response to the Anderson Royal Commission and later banning of Scientology in Victoria? And could someone do a video on it? Okay. Do I know, not especially Scientology? I mean, Hubbard, of course, said it was all the psychs, that the psychs had infiltrated the Anderson inquiry. Anderson was a psych-influenced QC. I recommend Steve Kanan's excellent book called Fair Game. He tells the entire story of how the inquiry in Australia came about because Hubbard refused to give a guy his money back, and the fallout from that subsequently. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. It's called Fair Game, as I said, by Steve Kanan, who is a very highly respected reporter in Australia.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, on how to PTS. Claire should get some temporary tattoos of crackers for Mark's birthday. For him to, you know.
Okay, do you know what's hilarious though? One of our viewers sent me cracker earrings. They just arrived today. I haven't tried them on yet.
Cracker earrings?
Yeah.
That's really a thing?
It
Or did
is
they
on-
have them made?
No, from Etsy. You can get anything in the world
Oh
on
my
Etsy.
goodness, that's so sick.
And you
It's
need
funny.
to lick them, Mark.
Okay, Denver Stevo, Mike, self-serving question. Have you had a chance to watch your birthday video on my channel yet? No. I'll try and get to it. I get so many things that people ask me. Can you watch this? Can you look at that? Can you answer me this? Can you tell me that?
Yeah. I get about 100 emails a day, and they're usually videos, photos, pictures, stories that are TLDR, and everything else. So it's a lot of stuff.
LDR.
Too long,
didn't
didn't read.
Jen Winks, hi from
Don't
Australia.
worry, I
Mike,
read them.
Claire reads everything.
for Mike, for the cracker looking video, you guys should try some Australian crackers like Shapes, pizza, barbecue, chicken crimpy, and Jats.
Ooh.
Oh wow, people got to send those in. I'm not going to Australia to buy crackers. I don't have a budget for that. You're gonna have to subscribe down below if you want me to do that.
Lady BB. Oh, here's the all caps.
Oh,
Mike
boy.
Rinder and Mark, your books helped me more in the few days it took me to listen to them than the therapy I did for so many years. I recommend your books all the time. Oh, wow.
That was
Thank you.
fantastic. Wonderful.
Thank you,
Amazing.
Lady
So much.
BB.
Okay, 3 to go. And on A, I was abused by some Scientologists, attacked by an OT. Okay.
I believe it.
Yep, I believe it too.
Hmm.
Okay, Denver Stevo, we're far enough into the video now. Amy and Claire, curse like the sailors you are.
I don't swear anymore.
Snotface, can we stop smack talking
Between
between Aaron and Tony Ortega? It's annoying, but I love them both.
No.
Yeah,
Th-
that's
Take it
that's
up with
between
Aaron.
them. You're talking to the wrong people.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Last one, Christy
Oh.
June. Oh, honey, we need a
Christy!
Mark Headley Papa Smurf graphic
Yay.
now.
Oh, don't
Yes.
tell them to do
We
that.
do.
Oh
You're
my
so right.
goodness, Christy. You know that I'm going to get about 2,000 of those now. Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness.
God. Oh no.
You've unleashed the beast.
Who
These guys
started
will-
that one? Claire,
my
did
God.
you start
No,
I
it?
did.
it wasn't
no,
me.
I
It
did.
wasn't
It was a
me.
super chat, and I just started. I didn't even see. I don't even
Christy.
read them.
We love
Thanks, Christy.
you.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness. You know, I do have a lot of people that send me silly shoops of David Miscavige, and we have the bobblehead pics. But if they're really good and they're landscape and they're really high quality and they give me a little bit of room at the bottom, like in this area of the picture, it's called the lower third. If they leave that empty, I use it as thumbnails all the time. So if people don't want to do a David Miscavige shoot, they just want to do a funny picture they think I might like, I might use it. I use a lot of stuff you guys send me. I just put, if I find it amusing, I put it in the video, in the thumbnail. So it can happen.
And Mark
There's
is
another
easily
one.
amused.
Yeah, and I am easily amused.
I love you said, hey, if you want an SPTV logo, you sent me a link. And there's like 50 of them in there.
Oh yeah, those were all. I didn't make one single logo. 50
That's
different
amazing.
logos came in. Some people sent 2 or 3. Some people sent 1. Some people sent 10. I mean, people have been cranking them out.
Yes.
Right.
One of these days, we'll track down who did that amazing SPTV trailer intro and say thank
yeah.
you. I'll send them an SP bracelet. I just need to figure out how to find who did that.
Well, if you did it and you know, email Claire.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the trailer that we use that has the moon shot on it, we love that, and that is another problem. Is some people tell us they don't want us to mention them or they don't want to say who did it. They just want us to use it. So we kind of err on that side mostly, just so, and also we don't want to cause anybody any trouble.
Right. Exactly.
I need one that's got the space shuttle taking off.
Oh, really? Oh, what you want the
Well,
Challenger?
I'm not on your moon landing. So I need.
On the video that we have. Oh, that's right, because it was before you had a channel. So we're gonna need like a whole bunch of flags planted on that moon.
I have some good ones. I've got a Hey Lottie Law intro, which I'll show you guys.
Oh, because yes. Oh, that's
because you're in that video.
And I say, no, I'm not, fortunately, but a lot of people are. But I have this little clip, and it's like, hey, lolly law or whatever. So I say, hey, Lottie Daw, where's Shelly?
Oh, nice.
And they're all singing it. But anyway, I'll show it on my channel.
This one, we got one last one for Amy.
Okay.
Chi-Town native. Question: what numbers does Amy need for us to send super chats? Love you guys. What numbers? Oh, well, I see. So you need to get monetized. She just needs to get how many subscribers do you need?
4,000 hours.
4,000 watch hours.
I've met that, and I just needed 4,000, which I might have with this chat tonight.
Well,
so
we don't know, but if you want to go over to Amy's channel and see what other videos she's got up there, she's got a lot of really cool videos. Once she gets over a certain amount of watch hours, then YouTube will say, okay, your channel is worthy of putting on the recommended pages and allow her to do ads and that sort of thing. So
that's right. And I think it's 4,000 hours. So even watch hours.
Right now we have almost 2,000 people watching this video. If you guys watch this video on Amy's channel or another video like this on Amy's channel, that's it. It's done. So
it says on my channel, it says new achievement, 5,000 watch hours time. So I should be able to.
That was it. We did it tonight. Nice. I told you, Amy. I told you.
And you already hit the subscriber number, right, Amy?
Yes.
Nice.
There you go, folks.
So I'll get that all set up.
SPTV is growing, folks. Thank you for your support. We so appreciate you being here.
Yes, that's amazing. Wow, it went from 2,500 to 5,000. That's
awesome.
Amazing.
All right. Thank you, everybody. This has been our longest chat so far.
Yes. Oh, my God. That was a marathon. It went by quick.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It did go by quick.
We'll have to get together for the next portion of our favorite name calling.
Yeah,
theme.
exactly. Yeah, we'll do another one.
Nice.
And Otherwise, we will see you on Monday for our regular Monday evening scheduled, whatever we call that now. Monday evenings with Marc, Mike, Claire, Aaron, SPTV.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I
Okay.
was thinking is maybe we do Thursday theme nights, and it's the different subjects that we take up, and then we have a stable night that we do that. It's like 7 o'clock on Thursdays. Everyone can count on it, because otherwise you don't really know when. Besides Monday, you don't have too much prediction. But anyway.
Right.
True.
That seems like a good idea. Well,
yeah,
we should talk about that. All right. Well, I'm bowing out now.
Okay,
Bye,
bye
everyone.
everybody.